And it's live. Trying to
It's
post
live.
that.
It's
Nope,
live.
we're in here.
It's live. It's live. It's live.
There we go. I got it on my thing now. What's up, everybody? Trying to post that.
It's
Nope,
live.
we're in here.
It's live. It's live. It's live.
There we go. I got it on my. I'm here. I'm hearing everybody. I'm hearing double. Trying to post that.
Oh, mine hasn't even came up on my phone yet. I think it froze up again.
There we go. Hold on. I got it on my. I'm hearing everybody. I'm hearing double.
Oh, mine hasn't even came up on my phone yet. I think it froze up again.
Is your? I think
I don't even have the sound on.
Your other one.
I don't even have the sound on.
Your other one.
I don't even have the sound on. Yeah, I don't have the sound on this phone.
That's weird. I have all mine off, so I'm not sure what's going on.
This phone. Yeah, I turned it off. I don't think it's me.
I have all mine off, so I'm not sure. Something's still coming through. All right, hold on, let me get the.
I don't think it's me.
It's not, but I can't.
What? Those 3 pictures.
Here, hold on.
Blood, deep red.
There we go. Maybe.
Here, hold on.
All right, there we go. What's up, Parker?
What's up?
Sorry, he was trying to get his second. Maybe.
That's great.
No, it's still there.
All right, there we go. What's up, Parker? That might be me. How about that? Sorry.
That's good. It's still there. It's just really quiet now.
Okay, I just need to turn my or plug my headphones in.
Hi, everybody.
Going weird right now.
Where we had somebody there, and then they're gone. They were like, "Hey, this is too loud."
Going weird right now.
I gotta turn my sound back up because I can't hear nothing. We're having technical difficulties. It sounds like it's gone now, though. Maybe. Oh.
All right, what about now?
No, yeah, this sounds good now.
That's better. All right, cool. Now we can go. What's up, everybody? Who's in here right now? Perry Comics, Delphia Kachun. What's up, guys? Craig.
John's Comics with Kids. What's up, John? Got Mr. Gorell, who doesn't want to come on with us. He's too big time now. Your boy? What's up, your boy? Why aren't you on here?
I saw. He doesn't have anything to contribute this time.
I know. It's like, get on the bus or go home.
Yeah. Parker was on the video, but I think he got booted, so I'm going to check in with him and see what's going on. Issues is going to be joining us in a second. I know that. We did break the internet.
Yeah, your boy, I had to take it down. I got new stuff, so I had to put up, I had to be out with the old and in with the new. So there's no more True First. I'll have to build a new one to a different True First. I keep looking down at my phone and I realize that these are too far apart. I need them up here.
All right. So I know Issues wants to rant about the Immortal Hulk second print thing, so we can wait for him to get on for that. Do you have your thing here?
On like the whole thing? I saw the post. I saw a post from somebody where they were talking about they were going to reprint a comic that hasn't even been released yet because it's sold out already.
Right, and but the problem is it's an incentive cover, so it's still a 1 in 25, but it's a 1 in 25 for the second print. So like they have the first print obviously and the 1 in 25 for that, which sold out, and then now they have a second print of the incentive cover, which I've never seen before. I think it's the first time it's happened. It's just a different colored background or something.
So it's like what they did with the whole Obama thing in Amazing Spider-Man, where they did like 3 of the same second, third, fourth, fifth print. It's the same picture with a different colored background, but this one hasn't even been released yet. It's sold out in pre-release.
Yeah,
so they're
exactly.
reprinting it.
And in order for shops to qualify for it, they have to sell 25 copies of the second print of number 16. It's really dumb.
Yeah, because how can they sell something that they ain't even got yet? I mean, I guess people pre-order, but
yeah,
that's ridiculous.
I mean, and in all honesty, I looked at it and very quickly, without thinking about it, I wish I had listened to or watched the chat first, because I snagged one real quick because I thought maybe I didn't know how they were going to do the incentive for it. Like I thought maybe it would be a super small print run again. And I really liked the cover. But then Issues clarified with his shop or something. He can go into the details more. He's better at that math.
So is this the one with the stretched out face? Like that rapid cover, I guess it is, where it's yeah, it looks sick, but man, come on.
Yeah, and the first print's background is like blue, like it's like night looking, and then the other one is like orange-ish in the background. That's the only difference. So I don't know. We'll see what happens with it. It'll be interesting. Man, we had 9 people in here, now we have 3. That's crazy.
We ran everybody off.
I know, it's because of the sound. They'll be back.
Yeah, we need our cleanup hitter.
Yeah. Did you open the package already, or you want to open it right now?
No, I hadn't done it yet. I just got it. I just got this today, and I got Caleb, the comic Smurf, was doing a show the other day, and he was showing that this new Spider-Man life story. That comic there. I haven't got to read it yet, but Scotty Young did a variant for it. And none of the shops I go to, even the shop I go to that always gets variants to everything, none of them got it. And so when on that show, he showed his copy of it, and I was just like, damn, I want that. And he's like, well, you can have it if you want it. I was like, really? And this was like 2 days ago. He sent it to me, and it's already showed up.
That's like crazy.
I know. But yeah, this Hulk Nuts, I got this from Hulk Nuts, and I traded him. It was a Captain Marvel 21. It's got Captain Marvel fighting the Hulk on the cover.
Okay.
And some Spawn books. I can't even remember how many, but.
So what's up, Dre? Issue said Tony has a show right now too, so they're probably hopping over there. Yeah, you're right. He's cooler than I am too, and he's cool. I don't know about Kung Fu, but he's cooler than I am. So
I think everybody's cooler than me.
I think everybody's cooler than me. So
it's not a bar that you even have to set up to be cooler than me. It sets on the ground. But he it says actual size.
That's funny.
I hope he didn't lay his balls on here and trace them, because that
would be funny as hell.
He put a little pull tab. He gave me directions on how to open it. Pull tab. I'm so glad he did that, because I am just not smart enough. Cut here. That's so funny. I'm not going to follow your directions. Wait, there's a whole bunch of comics in here. There's only supposed to be one.
Yeah, but Hope's a softie underneath his hard exterior. He'll send free stuff.
I would never let that out. I'll never let you live it down after that. Although I did see at my LCS at the one that has all the variants, I saw something and I was so tempted to buy it. It was $40, and it's a statue of Squirrel Girl like that big, and she looks awesome. But it's not the thick Squirrel Girl like the big booty Squirrel Girl.
Right.
It's like thin waisted Squirrel Girl, and I thought it was so funny. I was like, man, I should send that to him.
You have to, yeah.
It was like I tried so hard to get off the list, and now I'm off. I just put that back on.
Yeah. What's up?
It's like I tried so hard to get off the list.
Richard or Outcast? Which is
Either or.
dope. Cool. Now we got a third person, so it's not really
What's going on?
He sent me another copy of X-Force #1, but this is the one with the error on it.
Oh,
With the
okay.
error.
Most people don't even pay attention to it, but it's like a $20 book in the right place.
It's in the error is the Marvel logo, right? At the
Yeah,
top.
backwards. The cap right here.
Oh, yeah.
It's supposed to be black. Well, yeah. It's just reversed. I got like 4 of them. But like if you go on eBay, people are trying to sell them things for like $20, which is ridiculous.
There was,
gave me
too. There was an error print like Marvel Rising that had like Kamala Khan and Squirrel Girl on the cover of it. I forget what the error is though, and that one was going for a little bit too.
The Marvel Rising one, that one, it either had a missing page or it had a multiple page in it.
It had multiple pages.
Are you talking about the Miss Marvel Squirrel Girl one?
Yeah, it was multiple pages. I think you're right.
Yeah, because I have that one somewhere in here. Well, I'm going to look for it. It's not that important. This, on the other hand, this is awesome. So here's another one to chalk off on my list.
Oh, nice.
Oh, that's sick. That's super dope.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Issues, what do you got going on in the background there this time?
The Sci-Fi Wire videos.
Oh, it's the same one.
You watch those?
I have to throw them on.
They do like a ton of different ones, but they have like a specific little like group of them called Artist Alley.
Okay.
And each one is like usually less than 5 or 6 minutes, and it's some well-known like artist drawing a specific character and like talking to you about like drawing them. So I made a playlist with like 20 of them, and I just put it on like the screen, so it'll just cycle through.
That's dope.
It's some cool ones. It'll be like Romita drawing like Daredevil, and then like Jock drawing Batman, like Mitch Garrett drawing Mr. Miracle, like just like cool stuff like that. So
That's
heck yeah.
Raptor, what's up, man?
What's up, dude?
It's been a while.
I know, right? I never get the chance to do these chats.
Yeah, because they usually do like 10 o'clock West Coast time. So for us, it's like
exactly.
I know we have to stay up late and then miss half the day of work the next day.
Mondays might be the best day, honestly, because like I can be on at like 5:36 every time, which is early enough for you guys, generally speaking. So
there's also not like a ton of other stuff on YouTube on Mondays. Although apparently today we're competing with Tony, which
I think he saw your post and decided to just go live because his like the name of his is like Bro Chat or something.
No, I don't think he did that. You know what's funny? I think that they're like he did an episode last week, so it's kind of it's the same thing as like the concept of our show. Like we do like these shoot the shit shows where we don't have a schedule or like a topic. He does the same thing, and he did his first episode last week. I actually jumped on it. So was Barbarian. It was right before book club on Wednesday. He went with like Jeffrey, and he was like, oh, like once a week or so, or like every other week, unscheduled. He's like, I just want to do one of these like, you know, bro talk shows, and anyone who wants to jump on can like let me know, and I'll send them an invite, and we're just going to talk about whatever.
That's cool.
So I don't think he has really like a set schedule, and I imagine like he just got back from C2E2, so he's probably really excited. I mean, I'm definitely gonna watch that on the replay. If we didn't have it scheduled, I'd probably be over there watching that show right now too. So
I feel you. I'm jealous he went to C2E2. I keep seeing pictures and like it looks super cool. I don't know. I hope it works out next year because that could be a lot of fun.
Hulk's in the chat trolling, saying that we're biting Tony. even though this is like our 4th episode, we're according to Hulk, we're biting Tony. So
yeah, and last week, like you said, he came on. It wasn't on a Monday, was it? It was on a Wednesday.
It was Wednesday last week.
That's what I was thinking. I didn't think there was anything going on today, but without Discovery Bay doing those shows every morning, I'm lost.
Did he stop doing them every morning?
It's funny because before Discovery Bay did that show, like you just had to either have notifications turned on or just be like bored and like wandering around YouTube. And then he's done those shows for like 3 months now, and you forget how important that is until he takes like a day off, and you're like completely confused about if anything's on at all.
He goes to C2E2 and he gets hammered, and then he has a hangover and doesn't do the show, and it's like everybody's lost. It looked like so much fun though. I watched all them guys doing karaoke and stuff. It was so funny. Like I just wanted to be there. It looked like so much fun.
That could be us next year.
Yeah, I mean, I hope so. I think that would be cool. I mean, I think a year is enough time for everyone to try to like kind of.
Absolutely.
The road trip, right?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Road trip.
If Infinity ever comes back, it would be the 3 of you.
I mean, I just picked C2E2 because I felt like in terms of since we're all over the country, it's like the most in the middle.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It seems like from people talking about it that it also happens to be just one of like the coolest shows.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chicago's a fun town too. Like I grew up not too far from there, and we used to go there skating all the time, and we always had fun.
You know, I think Chicago has changed a lot since then.
Probably.
That's like I'm being very politically correct right now when I say that. But I think.
I mean, is Cabrini Green still there? You still go down to Cabrini Green and get your crack and all that stuff.
I saw Liefeld was there issues, so I know you're going to join that one.
I saw that too. Dude, if we go and he's there, we have to get shirts made of him, like you being blocked.
I just want a shirt that has just his feet right in the center.
Oh, that'd be great.
I'll pay like $75 for a ticket to stand online just to get up to him and I'll like rip a copy of like New Mutants 98 like in half. Like,
I was watching something with him and he said that he signs all of the comic books that he creates, that he gets from the publishers, so that when he gives them to his kids, they're worth something. Which is like the cockiest thing I've ever heard in my life.
That's first of all, he's a millionaire and his kids are like all, I don't know what caliber of people they are. I'm not going to call them like spoiled brats because I don't know them, but I just mean like clearly. When I used to be able to see his posts, he lives in a really nice area in a really huge house, and it doesn't appear like his kids suffer financially. So I don't really know that they need. Like, does he foresee them being like unemployed, homeless drug addicts 20 years?
I have no idea.
Need to sell his signed books to like get more drugs? Like, I'm confused. Because I'm pretty sure they all have like trust funds and they're never gonna have to like work a day in their lives. But I guess signing books for your kids makes sense when you're Rob Liefeld. So,
dude, what if it's one of those things?
If the market ever tanks, they can always just trade in those Captain America #1s from 1998 or whatever it was.
I was gonna say, what if they if they didn't get something they wanted for like their birthday or something, and they're like, man, I'm gonna buy it myself. Dad, sign this copy of fucking
going to the comics.
X-Force.
You know what's funny is I think like most of his books probably aren't even worth more money signed if they're just like
no.
Like, he probably has his own
nonsensical thing to say. Like I don't like that Superman cover he just did was like the worst cover of the last like 10 years. Like I don't think a signature on it helps. Like you could dress up a pig, it's still a pig. Like
Right.
I think it probably decreases.
yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
He's
Would you have
acknowledging
to
it
have
with
a
his own
witness
signature.
do his?
He did this cover. Like it's free. You can't give it away.
Yeah.
If he wanted to get one of his signed books graded, would he need a witness, or could he just be like, "Yeah, I did it. This is me."
I saw a book a while back that said it was from Frank Miller's like personal collection or whatever. It was like CGC'd. And I don't know how. I wonder if he just like sent it in and he was like, "Hey, can you grade this for me? I need money." Like, I have no idea. Oh man.
Barbarian, did you open everything?
I'm sorry, what?
Did you open everything from Hulk Nuts? Was it the two
Yeah.
books? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I just bought one thing from him, and he put that other stuff in there.
Gotcha.
There was a Daredevil. I think he put stuff in there just like to fill up space. I guess packing sometimes. There's a War Machine #4, and I don't know. I would assume that's what that's for. And then this Daredevil #26, one of the new ones. I think that's from the new run, isn't it?
That's from a couple years ago, but like yeah, it's
the
newish. How was? Can we talk real quick about how your boys hasn't read Dark Knight Returns, but he's like all about Batman?
You know what? I'm not sure which one of them I hate more right now, Andrew or your boy. Like honestly, I don't know. Like I don't know how to feel about that. You know?
That's a tough one to swallow for me. I'm
not sure that you could say you're like, you know, no offense, your boy, if you're watching, but like, how can Batman be like your favorite character and you haven't read one of like the most well-known Batman books of the last like 30 years, maybe longer, right? What was it, 80 something? I mean,
yeah,
dude, and not only that, like you could go out and get like the compiled trade for like $15.
True.
Like, I'm not sure. Like you don't have to go hunt like first prints or like
No.
signed like books to read. Like
he said he watched the movies.
The animated movies. I never watched those. But like I don't know how good they are. I'm sure they're like semi-accurate to the comic.
Yeah, that'd like be like saying that like Spider-Man's your favorite character, but you've never read anything but a Web of Spider-Man comic.
Your boy says that he watched the movies. He did say that.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Instead of we're not fat shaming right now, we're bat shaming. Damn, that's funny. Your boys was timed out. Craig put him in timeout for 300 seconds.
Did he really?
Yeah. We love you, you boys. We're just messing around, sort of.
Just think about your life decisions now.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dre said that the DC animated movies are good. They are really good. It's just like the fact that the majority of the ones that they made because like those book storylines were like really, really good.
Right.
So if you have watched those movies and enjoyed them, to not go back and try to find the books seems almost like, I don't know, man. It's not like comparing a novel to a movie. Like, I get it. You watched Jurassic Park, but you don't want to go read like a 300-page like Michael Crichton novel. But like comics are already picture books. Like, what is the reasonable excuse for not reading a children's book?
I mean, his main excuse is probably he lives in Guam, which I think is sort of fair.
We don't have access to reading material there.
Yeah.
We don't have light.
But I'm actually going to a discount bookstore on Wednesday, and they always have the Dark Knight 2 there. So I'll check and see if they have the first one, and if they do, I'm going to send it to him so he can read it.
So the first one's the one where he's like jumping through the lightning bolt, right?
Yeah.
On the cover? Yeah, I've been trying to find that. That's one of the books that I bought from that dude on Instagram that ripped me off. I got that one and that book that Stan Lee signed. Then I got a book for Wizza. That's that first the first Boba Fett, the Star Wars book. I think it's 46 or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that dude ripped me off, so I won't get any of those probably.
Maybe he'll just pop back up and just be like, "Yo, sorry, like shit was happening. Here you go." That'd be
Yeah, as bad
cool.
as it sounds, like I really hope he got arrested or something. So like he'll
Right.
pop out of jail and then be like, "Hey, here's your stuff." You know, I doubt that.
I didn't read Master Race. Did any of you read that one?
No, I didn't. I didn't read that one. I don't know. I mean, I don't think that they were, they weren't received as well as the original.
Right.
So, I mean, I guess it makes sense. It's always hard to like recreate that kind of success because for the time that the first one was made was like a different time for comic books, so it was considered really like dark and edgy. And
Right.
now there's so many sort of like dark, edgy comic books. It's a more crowded like group of competition.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Plus, also Frank Miller is like, 35 years older, and I'm not sure, like, if he. I don't mean this insultingly. I just mean like, is he operating at the same level as he was like 30 years ago in terms of like writing and like coming up with stuff? Like, I don't know. It can't be easy to maintain that into your like, older years.
Yeah, absolutely not. He's definitely slowed down. I saw last year New York Comics had a signing for him, so I'm kind of hoping that they have one again this year because I really need to get some stuff signed by him because he's
So like I that one that that Barbarian's talking about, like the Lightning Bolt one, they actually did a special Virgin like foil cover of that for New York Comic Con last year, which I bought specifically to get signed by him because they had his schedule that he was going to be signing for like 3 hours every day, like Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And I only went on Friday. And when I got to his table, they had a sign up that was like, oh, Frank is like under the weather. Like you could submit through like the other company to have everything like sent to him like later on. And then it was like, he will be here for like 2 hours on Sunday. So
weird.
Like, I don't know. Is that like because of his age? Like he couldn't commit 3 days? Was he sick? I was frustrated because that was like the sole reason I paid like $50 for that book just to get, like signed and slabbed like on the spot, and like that whole thing fell apart. That was a little like frustrating.
Yeah, that's tough. What's up, Parker?
What's up, guys? How we doing?
What up?
How's it going?
I'm trying to. This delay on the chat is crazy. So let's. Do you want to go on your rant right now about Hulk?
Yeah, so I know you guys were talking about it a little bit because I was watching before.
Yeah, I'm real confused. Like I guess I understand what's going on, but I don't understand how it's even possible to reprint a comic that hasn't been put up for sale.
Why is this even an option?
Okay, so I mean it is. It's just it's normally not done that way, but they know how. I mean, look at it like this, right? When issue
savagery,
when issue 2, 3, 4, 5, when all those books came out, they waited till after those books came out to announce that they were sending them to a second print or a third print. Now the book has gotten so popular and so successful that they know what their pre-orders are through Diamond. They know that they're hitting their threshold to say we can do a second print, right? And this is not the first time they've done that because they put up for pre-order second prints of issue 15 before 15 came out, and they didn't have artwork for that either, but they knew they were pre-selling enough based on the popularity to justify it. That's not the part I have a problem with. Like you brought up like the Spider-Man ones where they do like multiple covers but like different colors. We get that. That's not like there's not a problem with that, right? Like Edge of Spider-Verse first Spider-Gwen, aren't there like 5 prints for that and every cover's the same? They just change like the color.
Yeah.
So you're all used to that. It's not that in and of itself is a problem. It's that this whole idea of like a ratio variant has always kind of been, I don't know, like not to sound like elitist, but if you're buying like a ratio variant, you're automatically buying into the idea that you have a rarer book that less people have a copy of.
Yeah, exactly.
So to transfer that idea and say now we're going to have a ratio incentive for a second print, I just feel like that's like a whole nother level of insanity. And I kind of feel like you know, I don't blame comic book stores for charging what they're charging, because we talked about that today. Like, Necro, you bought through Golden Apple, and I love Golden Apple. What they're charging for that book is totally fair if you think about it from a monetary viewpoint. For them to say they want $65 for that book, they have to order 25 copies to get you that one copy. Even at their discounted rates, it's going to cost them around $50 to order those 25 copies to get you that one. And of course, they want to build in profit. They're a company. No one's in this for to be friends with you. That they're not doing this to like, you know, like hook you up, you know, because from a viewpoint of like from a viewpoint of the money factor, you would think in your head, well, if I'm going to pay $65 for this book, I want you to send me the variant, and I want all 25 copies that I just paid for of the regular.
Right.
But then that eliminates their ability to make money. That's how they make the money.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they're just a middleman. Like, why would I send you all 25 copies? And so the rarity of this new one is what we've talked about today that puts into question. If you're in this for collecting and you think you're getting something that's rare, how does having an incentive of the second print hurt the value of the incentive for the first print? It's a question we don't have an answer for. But it's dangerous because what I acknowledged earlier as being possible, I think, is that there could somehow actually be more second prints than there are first prints.
Oh, there will be.
Absolutely.
But when was the last time that happened? That flies in the face of all comic book precedent.
Yeah.
That whole idea amongst resellers that scarcity and rarity are why we hunt for second, third, and fourth prints. Look at everyone out there right now buying fourth prints of Die #1. All those people already read the book. See, it used to be that you did a second print because a book was more popular than you thought, and you want to find a way for more readers to get that book in their hands. So it used to be that people buying a second print were not people that owned a first print. Now we're living in this speculation-heavy age where you bought the first, second, third, and fourth print of Die #1, and you have them all in your collection. Why? Why?
Yeah.
Right? Like, that's the question we have to ask ourselves. For someone who's selling, reselling, or speculating, it makes sense. But the publishers are here, and what I blame Marvel for is I feel like Marvel is butthurt, right? I feel like the publishers are getting butthurt by the fact that the secondary market explodes and they don't get anything from it.
Yeah.
So they sold 20,000 copies of Hulk #2. They sold it through Diamond. They charged $2.30 to the dealer. Diamond takes their cut, and then Marvel makes like $1.50 off each book. And now they're watching all those books sell for $80 on the secondary market, and Marvel is saying, well, fuck us. As a comic book company, we lost money last year. We only, you know, Marvel as a company is successful because of the movies, but Marvel Comics they lost money last year.
Yes.
Lost money.
Yeah.
So they're sitting there saying, well, we're losing money, but our books are exploding on the secondary market. How the hell do we get in on this? And I feel like that's what this is. This is a sign of what's to come, because if this is successful and they sell double what they usually sell on second prints because there's an incentive variant, you can bet anything in the world you want that they will continue to do this now for every major title, for every second print, for every big issue with a first appearance. They're going to do some sort of second print incentive, and it's going to cause a whole new wave of BS, basically, for us as fans.
Yeah, that's why we started doing that thing where you can only get so many of the variants if you order this other title. Like, if you order 50 Guardians of the Galaxy #1, then you can get 2 of this Avengers No Road Home, or however they do it. Like, that was all because this book's not selling good, so we need to get them to buy way more of this than what they need. So this is what they want. We're going to make them buy this to get this.
Right.
Yeah, I understand why they do it, but I don't like it.
I have 2 thoughts. One, in the long run, so I agree. I think that they're gonna start doing second prints for incentives, like you were saying, issues. But I wonder how that'll affect the the first prints? Because wouldn't that make them just like that much more rare? Like, yeah, the second prints exist. Like, I have a second print of every Venom issue that's out for Donny Cates' run, but that doesn't mean that like the second print of issue 3 is still worth less than issue 1, like the first printing. So
There's
I don't
probably
like
a print number that determines that too. If a second print is a low second print, then it's going to make it a little bit harder to get. Like with the die books, I think the second and the third print of that die number 1, aren't they really low numbers?
Yeah, they're much lower than the fourth print and now the fifth print. So there's no uniformity. There's no company that sits and says, we'll do 40,000 first print, we'll do 30,000 second, we'll do 15,000 third. There's no set number, so you only know by doing research. So just having this thought in your head of saying, well, a second or third or fourth print is rare is all relative, man. It's relative to what they're selling as a company, and that's not a figure that, like, you're not walking into your comic store and you're not able to ask them what is the print run on this fourth print of die number 1, because nobody knows the answer.
Right.
It's like asking Marvel how much money they made on a movie. You know why no one can prove them wrong? Because they don't put their figures out to the public. They'll tell you, oh yeah, we made $1 billion. They don't factor in what their other costs are. That's coming from them. That's like if I said to you, Necro, how much money do you make every year at your tattoo parlor? You could tell me any number you want, and I can't prove or disprove what you're saying.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
They control all the information, and it's not something that's that easily accessible to us. So when you talk about historically, right, like speculation did this, right? Because 2 or 3 years ago, nobody cared about Hulk 377, right? And then the rumors came out that Professor Hulk was going to be Endgame, and that was going to be a factor. And people ran out and they bought 377 because they were told it was a hot book, and it made Hot 10 lists, and people were buying it, and it was up on eBay for $10, $20, $30, $40 at one point. And then someone woke up and used a magical thing called Google and said, oh crap, there's a second print of that book that has a much lower print run, and it's like a gold and black cover. And then that book spiked, and that book was selling for $50, $60, $70. And then someone else said, dude, there's a third print, and there's like this many of it, because like they weren't printing for speculators back then. They were just printing to say, oh, you know what? Maybe there's 1,000 more people out there that want to read this book. Let's print up another 1,000 copies. Like nobody was anticipating, oh, someone's going to like this more, because 10 years ago, not even 5 years ago as a collector, if you told somebody I had this third print of this book, they'd like spit on you and be like, no, dude, first print. If you have third print, you have like a dog turd. I want first print. Now that shit is flipped upside down, because you have like, I feel like it's a manipulation based off of like being to a degree like uneducated about the market. You're just letting someone tell you that the idea that the print run is smaller means that the value should be higher. So you're disregarding that it's like a second or third or fourth print. And that's like, I don't know, man. Like, that's what leads us down this path that we're on now, right? Like you said, like Die is going to fifth print. They announced it like 3 days after the fourth print came out. That is not because another 10,000 people want to read Die. That is just because now speculators go out and say, oh, 1 sells high, 2 sells high, 3 sells high. So they pre-ordered 10 copies a piece of number 4.
Yeah.
So then Image says, let's release a fifth print. The day that they announced that, I guarantee you guys were going out and ordering 10 copies of the fifth print.
Yeah.
It's all because people are doing this. I don't want to be that guy, because I don't see the bubble bursting. Like I don't want to be like that Armageddon naysayer of like, we're screwed, the comic industry is screwed, or like it's the 90s all over again. But parts of this are the 90s all over again, because how many people went out and bought themselves 4 long boxes of X-Men 1? How many people went out and bought themselves 3 long boxes of like the wedding book for, Scott and Jean, like the wedding issue? How many stores went out of business because they over-ordered on like the Return of Superman, 2 months after he died? Like you can't do that. It's gonna cause a lot of problems financially for not just collectors, but for stores. I think they're walking a very dangerous path right now with how heavy we've gotten on second, third, and fourth prints of books that probably shouldn't have that many reprints.
I think that's fair.
All that stuff comes back on the shops too, because the shops can't afford to keep buying multiple prints of books unless they have people that are already ready to buy them too. Like they can't take a chance on buying 30 copies of a fourth print if everybody that comes to their shop has already got the first print and they don't think they're going to get it, but you got 2 people that want it or something like that.
Well, see, that's what pre-sales and the internet have done too. That hurts things in the long run, because it used to be that unless you were going into your store and saying, oh, I want this book that comes out in 3 months, can you order it from me? A store had to guess how many copies to order of a book based off of looking at what series are popular for them. So now, right, like you don't even have to go to your store. Like us today, anyone who woke up this morning could have followed a link and paid $65 to get a copy of this one for $25. And that's why I say that that's so dangerous, because, you know, they are charging you for those books. The store doesn't lose. Like, that's my point. You paid Golden Apple for 25 copies of the regular cover and for your variant. They don't lose. Right. They made about $15 just off of that. Even if they took all 25 regular covers and threw them in the garbage, they made a $15 profit. So they're not losing. The store's not losing. It's us as collectors, because how many copies are floating around out there now? They can afford to take all 25 of those and put it in their dollar bins, and they'll still come out with money coming out of their pockets.
True.
And so that's the issue now, where like I said, that's really dangerous territory to say that a second print could actually have a higher print run than a first print. Like, what does that do?
Right. I was just thinking too, how long do you think, again, this is just me thinking out loud, but I wonder if there's ever going to get to a point where you're talking about how these companies are getting butthurt because they're missing out on the secondary market, which totally makes sense. How long until, let's use Immortal Hulk 2 as an example, like Marvel prints these books and then holds 1,000 copies. And then when the stores run out and everybody's frantically looking for them, they just hey, by the way, we have 1,000 copies. Better get on it, because then they can make a killing on it. I don't know. I don't know if we'll ever see something like that, but I think I wouldn't say it's out of the realm of possibility.
I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility. I think that's a very real possibility. All it takes is one publisher of any size to do that, and I think other people would gladly follow suit, because you know, I don't blame them from a business standpoint. It's a crappy feeling to produce the content, to edit to put all of the legwork in, sell a book for $2.50, let the store make its $1.50 profit, and then turn around and watch, you know, me or you sell that book online for $60. As a publisher that wants to make money, that's losing money every year, that's got to be a crappy feeling. So I just think that's what they're trying to do now. They're saying, if everyone wants to jump on this second, third, fourth print train, then we're going to jump on it too, and we're just gonna sell our books out the butthole, and make our money any way we can. And that's Kachung asked a question down in the chat too. He said, if the cover's the same, what's the incentive? The incentive doesn't apply to us as consumers. When they call a cover an incentive cover, the incentive is to the store. It's to the dealer. What they're saying to the store is, if you buy 25 copies of this book, we're going to send you 1 copy of this special cover that you can sell for as much money as you want. That's the incentive. The incentive is to the store. The incentive isn't to us. That's what they mean when they say it's an incentive variant. We call them ratio variants just because we like to calculate what the number is. But the incentive isn't meant for us, because even those 1 for 50, 1 for 100 books that you buy, the cover of the book still says $4.99 on it, or $3.99. You can tell anyone in the world you want that it's a 1 for 100 book, but the cover still says $3.99 on it.
Yeah, and that's all the shop pays for it. They said pay the same amount for that book.
Right,
as
like
all
this,
the
this, this is the Mobius cover to Return of Wolverine #2, and it says variant edition, and this is a 1 for 500 variant. That means the store had to order 500 copies to get one of these, and at the end of the day, the price still says $3.99 on the cover. They didn't pay $500 for this book. They bought enough copies to get it, but they didn't pay really anything. So the incentive is to them. It's not to us. It's to us. It's we're going to get bent over the barrel and we're going to pay out the butt for it because we want to have this rare book. There's no incentive for me as a collector. The incentive is totally to the store. That's the publisher trying to say, you scratch our back, we'll scratch yours. You buy 500 copies, we'll give you one that you could sell for like $500. That's what it boils down to.
Yeah, I think that's the way things are going to end up going. Like people talk about this whole thing where we might have a 90s crash again and all that, but it's not going to be something where everything crashes. It's going to be where if you want the rare, harder to find variants, you just have to go online and get them because shops are going to stop caring about that stuff. They're just going to get A covers or they're just going to get, 1-for-1 variants or something like that like DC has, or they're just going to have, just the regular A-B covers that they can get for regular price. They're not going to do incentives. They'll let you go online and buy it from somebody.
One of my LCS kind of already does that. Like he doesn't care about the variants, but if you like the incentive ones, but if you want one, he's more than happy to get it for you. You're just paying for the amount of books that it takes to get it.
Gotcha.
Which is a substantial amount of money, but
right. But then see, you end up having to pay more. That becomes an issue, right? If you pre-order a high ratio book through a store that's not going to sell that many copies, they're going to make you pay for the full thing. So like if there's a 1-for-100 ratio coming out of a book that your shop feels like they can only sell 10 copies of, even if they charge you at their cost for those 100 copies, that's still $200. So you're going to be out $200 for a 1-for-100 ratio because you wanted it that bad, and they're still going to hold the other 100 copies that you already paid for, and they're going to resell them to their customers. Like that's the downside, right? Like that's the downside to this idea is that you're sort of double paying. You could roll the dice and wait till the day a ratio comes out and hope that your store has it, and then maybe you'll pay close to the actual ratio price, which is what I normally do. I buy a lot of ratio covers, but I don't pre-order them. I just walk into my store. So if they got a 1 for 25, it's going to be like $25 or less because they only got it because they ordered enough books to get it. They didn't pre-order it for me,
Yeah.
Dude, I remember last year like a noticeable change in the attitude of one of my shops and it was the day that what the fuck is that? What was that book? The Spider-Gwen, the one that like skyrocketed to like $1,000, like $1,000.
Oh yeah, the Ghost Spider. Like
when that one came out, I was in there in the morning. He had a copy of it, and the guy in front of me was asking about it, and he was like, "Man, this thing's going for a lot, but I'll give it to you for $120." And I didn't even think about it. Like I thought about it very briefly, but I knew that if I did that, I wouldn't have any money for it, like any other books for that week. And then like 2 days later, it was like fucking like $400, and then it just kept going up and kept going up. And after that, every variant that they do, they check eBay first, and then they price based on eBay, which is fair, I guess, because then they're not trying to lose money on it, but I'm not trying to pay like 100, like the Carnage Born Virgin I paid $120 for through them. And Issues you got it for like fucking like $50 or some shit.
Yeah, I paid $50 for it.
Yeah.
But that book could still be worth more down the road, especially with, all the stuff that's going to happen in terms of that series. Because that's the jumping off point for it, right? Like that's them finding Cassidy. That's like his first merger with like the with Null, basically. That's kind of a big deal.
That's true.
So I think now that they're admitting that this is going to carry on into like their huge summer storyline of absolute carnage or whatever, and he's going to be hunting down everyone else that wore the symbiote. I think that those books now could see like a resurgence in people trying to find them.
Right.
So if you're interested in selling yours, I'm sure that there'll be an opportunity for you to make your money back.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Both my local shops charge based off of eBay sales figures. They look leading up to the book's release at what the books, not what people are asking for it, right? Because I don't like stores that do that. They look at what they've actually sold for, and they average them out, and then that's the price generally that they charge for a book. So like you said, it's fair. They're not overcharging you. They're charging you market value, which is what is their right. That's the whole purpose of an incentive book. You get this rare copy of the book that you could sell for whatever you want. So charging market rate for it is fair. You know, right. I can't be mad at a store for that.
No.
You know, the trade-off is
pay that much money.
The trade-off is they still lose sometimes, and you still lose sometimes, right? There could be a day that I go in and buy a 1 for $25 book for $25. My store wins because they made $25. I feel like I won because I got the book I wanted, and then 4 days later, that book is $7 on eBay, and then I'm the big loser.
Right.
The flip side is I could go into the store, buy that book for $25, and 3 days later, it's worth $150. I'm the big winner, and my store could feel like, damn it. But it's a gamble for everybody. It's a crapshoot for everybody. That Spider-Gwen, my shop got one copy in, and they sold it for like $175, which I thought was insane that someone would pay $175 for that. As cool as the cover was, I just thought that was crazy. And then, like you said, by Saturday, that book was selling for like $700.
Yeah.
So I'm sure even where my store charged $175 and thought, man, we made a killing on this book, when Saturday came around, they were probably like, we're the biggest idiots in the world. Like,
oh yeah, of course. 2 things from the chat. Sasquatch is asking, first of all, what's up, Sasquatch? He's asking, so you guys don't think this will make the first print of the 1 in 25 variant worth more if the second print is over ordered?
Yeah, I do. That's what I'm saying. If they take that if it reaches that unprecedented level of the second print actually having more copies than the first print, then yeah, the first print incentive would be worth more, would realistically still be the rarer copy. Right. And it would have that plus side of still being a first print, you know? You know what my big thing here is, that my big question, the most important one to me, if something really, really important, like major, crazy important, doesn't happen in this book, I think there's going to be like a revolt.
Yeah, right.
Everybody's going to stop reading because they have this 1 for 25 variant. People are already overpaying for it. People are riding this Immortal Hulk hype train, and now you offer, for the first time ever, a second print 1 for 25 incentive. It's almost like you're saying, trust us, this book is huge. And if that doesn't happen, if nothing major happens in this book, if it's just like, whatever, it's issue 16, dude, people are going to like, it's going to be like burning LeBron James jerseys in the streets of Cleveland. Like, people are going to be like burning their Immortal Hulks, like in the streets of the United States, like, you know, like marching on Marvel headquarters. Like, that's.
That'd be crazy. I would love that. I want there to be a riot just for fun.
As a troll, I think it would be awesome if nothing important happens in that book at all.
It's like Hulk isn't even in the book. It's just it's just a random like. it's a slow scene of like Dr. Fry like just like sitting up or something like that, but it's like the whole book.
It's a flashback of something that didn't really matter that happened 20 years ago.
Yeah, or it's a reprint of like a random Hulk issue from like 2002 that like no one gives a shit about. That would be funny.
That would be awesome.
The other thing I was gonna say is Billy Batson brings up a good question or a good point. He says that he doesn't think the market rate is fair for incentives if you're paying for it at your shop because you're a customer there, you pick up poles every month. Why wouldn't you get a better price than on eBay, where they have to pay sellers fees and shit like that? I think that's
Well, where do you get a better price on like sneakers, from Nike.com or from Amazon or eBay? The answer is Amazon or
true.
eBay.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, where do you get a better price on a car, from the Chevy dealership or a used car dealership? Well, like,
True.
I mean, there's it's a business. We live in a capitalistic society. Why, regardless of whether or not you're a regular customer, market rate is inherently, in and of itself, fair. If you told me your store was charging you over market rate, I would say, man, that's messed up, because they're trying to they're trying to really stick it to you. But why, as a company, whether you're a regular customer or not, why would they take a loss off of what they could get just because of what? There's no friendship discount in life. You know, it's just not realistic, right? Not to mention, most stores already give you a discount, right? Like, most comic stores say, if you have a pull list, we give you 10% off.
Yeah.
Or like, one store I go to has like stamp cards. So for every like $10 you spend, you get like a stamp, which it works out to. And then when you fill up the card, you get $5 off. It basically works out to a 10% discount. So you're already saving money. They're in it to make money. The thing is, too, as a store, if you're talking about market rate, right? Yeah, you're right. Your store doesn't pay PayPal and eBay fees. You know what your store pays? Your store pays rent. They pay a light bill. They pay for employees. So why am I hurting my ability to stay open and viable as a business because I don't want to charge you an extra $10 because that's what market rate is? I mean, that's the whole purpose. Yeah. Otherwise, if a store only charged you cover price for an incentive cover, there would be zero reason to have an incentive cover. It wouldn't make sense.
And you can look at it like this, too. Instead of paying some guy on eBay the amount that the going rate is, you could pay this guy that you see once a week that you become friends with that needs your money to keep his business going. Yeah. You could just go ahead and pay him the same amount and let him make a couple bucks off you.
That's why I'm not super upset about having bought the second print from Golden Apple, because I've only got a couple things from them, but I've been impressed every time, and they're super close to me. So it's like, I don't know, I'm supporting a local shop. It's not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
It's still a cool cover to me.
I mean, also, if you talk about, if you say that you won't pay your store for market rate because you don't like that they're not giving you a loyalty discount, but then you'll go pay market rate from a stranger on eBay
That's
don't know who's going to mail the book to you, where you can't inspect it and you're not sure how it's going to arrive to you in like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days to pay the same price. I don't know, man. I'm not sure that I follow like the logic on that. I don't know if I'm missing something or if like maybe we're just having like a communication snafu, but that to me doesn't make any sense. To say I'm not happy my store charges me market value, so I'll go pay market value somewhere else. I don't know.
It looked like Parker was ghost hunting there for a second.
I had to take my dog out.
We should have a symbiotes ghost hunting episode where we all just.
Oh, dude, I got this for it. I got like a K2 meter. I got an infrared video camera. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
What's a top up? Is that what that's called?
Yeah.
The spirit boxes that sits there and flips through the FM channels or whatever.
Yeah. We need to do that. That would be, dude, I love that shit. I'd pee my pants, but I'd be having a good time doing it.
I live near Gettysburg.
Oh shit.
That's how
it's like soldiers having like battles in a field outside Raptor's house in the middle of the night.
Yeah, me and my wife spent our anniversary doing that. That's
awesome. That's badass.
So
is anyone going to some cons soon?
I'm going to one next weekend, or actually it's this weekend. It's not really like a big con. It's just like a little. It's in a holiday, or it's in a Hyatt Regency hotel, and they have like the whatever that showroom is that they put out. And there's usually only like 20 at the most sellers, but there's always like an artist that's there from there's a couple different, there's a lot of local artists that do a lot of stuff like major label stuff, and they'll get one of those guys to come and there's you get lots of good deals there. Like I've gotten lots of good stuff there, but you just got to be smart about it. There's lots of $1 and $2 bins of stuff that's really good, but it takes a long time to look through them all.
To go through it, yeah, I bet.
The life of a collector.
Yep,
yeah,
exactly.
You go there, you got to take a couple Percocets so your back don't hurt by the end of the day.
Right. I'm going to WonderCon next weekend. I've never been to WonderCon before, so curious to see how that'll be.
Is that the same place that
No,
Jeffrey's going to?
it's this weekend. Excuse me. It's in a couple of days.
Is that the same one that Jeffrey's going to?
Jeffrey and John are going to that one too.
Okay.
Oh shit. Okay, cool. Maybe I'll run into him. I don't think John's in here anymore.
And link up because they're definitely going.
Yeah, I'm down. I know Den is going. Tank was gonna go, but he can't go on Friday anymore. That's the only day I could go. So I don't know. My budget's gonna be pretty small, so we'll see what I get.
Are there any good names?
Yeah, there's. I mean, off the top of my head, the only one I remember is Donnie Cates, I think, but Jim Lee might be there, or Scott Snyder, Greg Capullo. I think all those guys are going to be there. None of the older guys, as far as I know, though. Like Steranko was supposed to be in New York, wasn't he? And then he like bailed.
Yeah, he bailed. He said something about like a family emergency. So
yeah,
I don't know what his like schedule looks like for the rest of the year.
Yeah,
I think Perez is only doing like a couple more shows this year too on his farewell, like retirement
tour.
Which, by the way, dude, I mean, it didn't upset me, but I really kicked myself in the butt for not knowing what I sold the other day.
What do you mean?
Autograph?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like when we did that auction, I sold a copy of like new Teen Titans #1 that I got signed by Marv Wolfman on the front cover at Garden State Comic Fest last year. And that book had been intended to go back to somebody else. And so I was able to hold on to it. And I kind of just, I don't know. To be honest, like I didn't care. For most people that like you guys at least, or people that kind of follow me know that I'm a pretty like Marvel heavy guy, and my DC collection is pretty small. So I'm not a huge DC guy other than just like Batman. But I sold that book in our auction for like $30, which I thought was fair anyway, to be honest. And I knew it was signed by Marv, but I sold it to Erod from like the New York Warriors. And so I sent it to him, and it got there pretty quick because he's local, because we're both in New York. And he messaged me today on Instagram and was like, "Hey, dude, like, are you the one who I bought like the Titans from?" And I immediately thought to myself, "Shit, there's something wrong with the book, and he wants a refund." And I was like, "Yeah, that was me. Is everything all right?" And he was like, "Yeah, I just got it today, but did you ever open this book?" And then and then like I doubled down. I was like, "Fuck, something's wrong with this book." And this guy's about to ask me for like a refund and return postage and like whatever. And I was like, "Damn." And I was like, "Nah, man, I didn't." And he goes, and then he messages me back, "I figured that." And then I thought to myself, Jesus Christ, dude, just ask for a refund. Like what the hell are we getting at? And so then I'm like sitting, and I get another message from him. My phone goes off, and it says like picture message received. So I'm 100% like, this guy's sending me like some kid cut like a panel out of the book. There's like a whole page ripped out. He's like about to like tear into me for selling him like a beat up book. And then like he opens, it's the picture of like the front page, and the bottom of the page is signed by Wolfman and Perez, like at the bottom. And I was just like, "Oh, dude, that's awesome." And he was like, "Yeah, I figured you didn't even know that." And I was like, "No, I never opened this book." I was like, "Well, at least I know you're not mad that you got like closed on the book, you know." So like, I don't really care that I don't have the book. I just sort of felt like stupid that like I didn't even know what it was that I was like selling. So like, which usually I know better too, because every time, I know this is gonna sound funny, but I really like Devil Dinosaur, even though that's such a stupid book. Not the newer one, not the Moon Girl. The original Jack Kirby Devil Dinosaur run, and it was 9 issues. And I have the whole run, but I think I have like 5 copies of #1. And the only reason I buy them anytime I see them for like relatively cheap is because back then everybody signed inside the books. And I keep praying and keeping my fingers crossed that I'm going to open one up and it's going to have like a Kirby signature on like the first page. And like I haven't gotten one yet, but like, so I should know better of all people because I do that regularly. And for some reason, I just never, ever opened the book. And I just like, I don't know what I just felt like such an idiot. I wasn't even like, damn, I sold that. I was just like, what? Like, I'm a moron.
Bake the Snake's in here now. What's up, man? And then Billy Batson, yeah, WonderCon. I'm going to WonderCon on Friday.
Yeah, if I'd have realized that we were gonna be able to bid on each other's stuff, I was gonna bid on that and that first Taskmaster. I want that book, and it sold for what, like $15 or something.
Yeah, he sold it for like $20. You know what's funny is like if I, I have nothing, so I couldn't have bid on anything. But even the other day, like at the price he was asking, I was actually. When Hoser told us that those are the books he was going to put up for the auction, I really thought about like privately DMing him and being like, dude, can you just like hold that and I'll pay you like $30 for it in like a couple weeks when I have some like funds. And I didn't. And now I'm like, well, there we go. I'm never going to own one because I won't pay.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Like it's going to be
like those the dumb movie spec prices. I just won't do it. I just can't do it. I don't have that kind of like scratch. Yeah.
Even in the condition that it was in, it was still like I would have paid more than that.
Yeah. I mean, Chino's comics said it was a big book, so it's got to be huge, right?
I mean, it could be Moon Knight. We're not really sure. It's either Moon Knight or it's Taskmaster. It's one of those two.
Right.
Dude, not for nothing. As cool as that cover is, though, too. Like, let's be realistic. Taskmaster is kind of like a crappy, like, you know. He's not a great. He's not.
I can see it.
I can see it. People saying that the ultimate version of him is like really badass. So I guess I'll have to trust people on that. But
I'm gonna look up what he looks like.
They had a Taskmaster versus Deadpool match in one of the Deadpool books, and that was actually a really cool match.
I'd be down with that.
Now I have to like see. Now I have to like find it. It's just like this. The OCD kicks in. My local shop has like their convention this weekend. It's not really a convention. It's just like a
ZapCon or whatever.
Yeah. So they're gonna have all those like crazy books that I sent you guys. Like they have like FF1 through whatever and X-Men ones and AS-15 and like every crazy book that I will never be able to afford.
It's just ridiculous watching that video. Just like. To think about just being in that room around all that stuff. That's like stuff you'll never be able to have. And they just have it.
But aside from that, like, so Zap as a shop, like in their store, they don't have any dollar bins or anything like that. Like none. They just have like new books. They have like sticker price back issues, and they have like tons of awesome like wall books and older Silver Age stuff that's pretty like, fairly priced. And so when they go to conventions and shows and stuff, like they were at New York Comic Con, they have a huge warehouse, and that's when they break out kind of like the cheaper books, because that's the big thing most people go to like cons and shows for, is to do like dollar bin digging, and you like justify it by saying, yeah, I spent $100, but I went home with 100 books, and you feel good about yourself. So that's what they do for this show. They have like a huge space they rent out, and they bring obviously their wall books, but they bring a ton of like $1 and $2 books from their warehouse, and then they actually have like talent and stuff come in. Like I know Sasquatch is here. There's this cool book from Black Mask called Space Riders that he found recently and posted on his page, and they have like the artist from that is going to be there, and they do like panels and stuff. So it's kind of a cool thing, but there's no competition. They don't invite like any other dealers or anything like that. It's just their stuff for sale, and then
that's cool.
The people that they invite to do panels and sign stuff and things. So, I mean, I'm looking forward to that. It should be a good
time. that'll be killer.
Yeah, Alexis Zarit's awesome, dude.
Yeah,
that's
he's the
artist.
Yeah, he's gonna be there. So that's actually one of the, I bring him up because I talked to Sasquatch about him, and he's actually one of the people that I'm sort of like excited about seeing, because I have a book that I want him to sign, and I don't know. See if I can find it.
Hey, did y'all lose the video?
No, you're still up there.
Which video?
Well, I mean, like, okay, I see it now. It came back on.
Oh.
I lost it for a minute.
Oh, dude, that's nice.
Yeah, this is the
Oh, that's super
like
sick.
special variant for Space Riders issue 1. There's only like, and it's printed that way. They didn't. This is number 68 out of 99.
Damn,
it's actually a pretty cool book. So I want to have him sign this. Obviously,
that's super cool.
That's my big plan for the day. I don't have a ton of money to spend, so I might buy, like a few dollar books and then get a signature and call it.
I'm probably doing the same.
If he do a sketch for you, get him to do a flaming skull sketch. It's actually really cool.
Dude, he does. So, you know what? He was at what show? He just posted on his Instagram that he was just at a LexCon, Lexington comic show or whatever, and he did an awesome commission of Ghost Rider. If you didn't see it after the show, like, go to his Instagram page and look at. It's like one of his last 2 posts was a Ghost Rider commission he did, and it was like nuts. And I was like, oh man, now I need this.
You can get him to do a flaming skull dick butt.
Oh, there you go.
No, I can't. That's my territory, man. I can't pass that off to anybody else. That's gonna be my retirement bread and butter, man. Don't give away my secrets.
Man. I need that one by I think it's July 12th through the 14th is when Atlanta Comic Con is. So I need it by then so I can go take it to CGC to get it graded.
All right, you'll have it. Don't worry.
I'm serious. It's only like $20. I mean, what am I gonna lose? I'll have a one of a kind.
It'll be hilarious story.
Issues of taking dick butt commissions if anyone's interested.
Yeah.
I got dick.
Yeah, there it is. Look, Raptor's showing it. If you could lock on Raptor's screen.
Yeah, I got you. Hold on.
Yeah.
Oh, that's sick.
And like he does like bright colors.
That's so dope.
Anyway, but
yeah, that's really awesome.
I like that a lot.
So he's gonna be at that show this weekend. So he's probably like, I mean, for me at least, based off the people that are gonna be there, that's like the biggest pull, I think, because he's really cool, really talented guy.
Yeah, I need to.
Sasquatch asked me to get him his underwear.
I kind of went crazy this weekend, switching gears into stuff that I bought recently, because they announced Absolute Carnage, and I've been sitting on like a list of like symbiote books that I've wanted. They're not really worth anything. It's just like first appearances of like super small symbiotes that maybe were like one-off characters or whatever. But then Key Collector put up the like every single appearance for symbiote related things.
And now you'll never own any of them.
Dude, it pissed me off. So I went on my comic shop and got all the ones that, like, not multiple copies, just a copy of all the ones that I wanted.
Really?
There's some weird ones on there. Like there's some so obscure.
Absolutely. But I didn't want to miss out and have to end up paying like $10-15 an issue later on.
Yeah.
You're missing out.
Dude, it's
real.
Yeah, right. And then today I was on some other seller's thing, and they had a bunch of Carnage books that I wanted. There's a super cool 1 in 25 for the Carnage series that came out in 2015. So I grabbed that one, and then I decided I wanted to start reading Spawn. So I think that the arc that
I decided I want to start reading Spawn.
Well, dude,
294 issues.
I know. I know.
Start reading Spawn.
I know. But I saw part of the reason was because I saw something like solicitation for like 297 or 298 or something, and they're like recapping.
It's 298. It's the one that's a copy of ASM 298.
Oh, okay, yeah. That one's the one that like starts the recap, right?
Yeah, that's like because Todd took over to only do because Matina's been doing the covers for Spawn, and then Todd does like a variant-ish cover for them. But 298, he's doing 298, 299, 300. McFarlane is doing entirely on his own, and so like the cover for 298 is just basically a complete copy of ASM 298 that McFarlane did, just with like Spawn and a Spawn villain in place of like Spider-Man, but the rest is like identical with like him riding like the hover thing and the white cover, and so I imagine 299 and 300 are going to be complete copies as well. Right.
There's a lot of cover swipes nowadays.
Is that a variant, or is that going to be the regular cover?
That's the regular cover, I think.
Well, it's all three, because normally what they do for Spawn is they do an A cover that's trade, that's Matina. Then they do a B cover that's Matina, that's like Virgin, and then they do the C cover, which is usually the McFarlane version of the cover. So for 298, McFarlane is all three covers, and one's trade, one's Virgin color, and one's Virgin black and white. I think that's like A, B, and C. That's how they're doing it. But they're cheap. They're like, if you pre-order them now, it's like, Spawn's still like a $2.99 book.
Yeah, it's cheap as hell.
Yeah, my son usually gets 2 of each one of them, and that's all he orders. So if I go in there early enough, I can get the Virgin one.
Yeah.
I mean, the book doesn't even come out until June, so they already released the artwork. Like, you could tell your guy now, like, dude, order an extra, like, one of each cover and put it in my book.
True.
It's like 3.5 months away.
Yeah, that's true. John's in the chat now. John, if you're still here, I'm going to WonderCon on Friday, so if you're going to be there, let's meet up or something.
Are you going to give Donnie Cates a mind bomb?
No, hell no. That dude can buy his own copy of Mind Bomb.
I saw that shit.
Yeah, your boy. Sorry, go.
Oh, no, we're talking about the did you guys watch the video? I couldn't even watch the whole thing.
I stopped after that.
No, I watched part of it, and I don't know, man. I've been watching less YouTube than I usually do. I think I mostly just watch live shows now because it's fun to interact. Other than that, I don't really watch too much. Like, I don't really watch like live show replays too often, because then like you can't even participate, which feels like weird.
I know, and you want to. You're like,
no, or you think like, you know what it is for me? I'm like, I could have said something really, really clever. Nobody will ever get to hear it.
I watched that one that Mr. Gorell and Jeffrey did the other day, and I had to watch it on the replay. And the whole time I'm like, man, I want to comment on that. I can't comment on any of it. It's no fair.
I got a book in the mail yesterday, and then I put it down in my closet where I have all my comic books, and then I went to go grab something later, and I stepped on it, so that's dope.
What book was it? Is the important question.
It was Hulk 3. It was this one. It's nothing big, but like the end right here, I don't know if you can see that, but it's like
we can see that. We can see that.
Okay, cool.
I'm sure Andrew can fix that for you.
Yeah, he can. I don't want to pay $2.
Communicated. I don't want to hear anyone talk about it.
The A word.
We don't say the A word. All right, we don't say it. Don't say that.
It creates too much stress. Brings the room down.
Did you guys read? I know, Barbarian, you brought it up earlier, but Life Story, the Spidey book that came out last week.
I hadn't got to read it yet.
I haven't read it yet either, but it seems really cool. Like, I like the idea of it a lot.
I've heard mixed reviews. I've heard some people say that it's not as good as they had hoped. And like some people were saying how like it makes Peter Parker, because it's basically telling Peter Parker like around the time that he gets bit by the spider, and it's like talking about how like he's kind of a jerk and all this stuff. And I don't know though. I hadn't got to read it, and I really like those like offshoots that they do with Spider-Man.
Right.
I used to buy all them back in the day, so I'm psyched to read it. I just hadn't had a chance to yet.
Yeah,
I didn't pick it up. Zdarsky's really hit or miss, man.
I agree.
Art
Working
style
on
beautiful,
Daredevil.
What's that?
His art style is
Working on-
beautiful.
Yeah.
Sorry, Peter.
Yeah.
Didn't you meet him recently?
Hmm.
Raptor, didn't you meet him recently?
Yeah, he did a signing. I met him actually. You're gonna hate me for this one, issues. I met Ennis 2 weeks ago.
Oh,
Ooh,
fuck.
nice. Shit.
That's sick.
Yeah. This comic shop I go to called Third Eye Comics, you pay $50 to get an MVP package, so your first 20 in line automatically, and you get like a couple of comic books, and then you're in and out in 20 minutes.
Is that for each event, or is that like a membership?
Each event.
That's not bad. I would take
So
that.
for $50, I did the Ennis one. I got 2 trades, so it worked
dope.
out.
I would do that. I think
Was he-
like, when you talk about paying a little bit of extra money for like the peace of mind of like a quick trip and a guarantee, I'll take that any day.
Exactly.
Same. Ennis
Is
is my
he a
favorite
weirdo?
writer. Was he a piece of shit?
No, he's actually really cool.
That's sick.
He said cheers to me, and that kind of made my day. It's something simple like that.
Yeah, fuck yeah, dude.
That's badass, dude. I'd love to meet him, man.
I
Yeah, he
feel
was
like I'm
cool. He
gonna
was
meet. I feel like I'm gonna meet my comic book heroes, and I'm gonna hate them.
I almost like I kept seeing stuff about Kate's, and I was hoping that he wasn't a douchebag because he looked like he could potentially be a douchebag. But all the stuff that I see about him, like he's like the nicest guy.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking cool.
I've heard a couple people say that they had like little. You know who said he was kind of not weird, but like Just a Rican, Rod.
Yeah.
I guess he went to an event and like Donnie was signing books and he was like videotaping him on his phone, and I guess he said that he got like kind of like not upset but kind of like peeved off and was just like, "Yo, let me know if you're gonna record me next time." Like kind of like
right.
angry a little bit, which sounded weird. I met him at New York Comic Con, but I didn't really like talk much to him. But he was super. I guess you know how like these guys have schedules and like they live and die by that schedule because they have like the people there that contract them that they're like shuffle them around to like different things. So I walked over to where his table was and nobody was online, and I had like 5 books in my hand, and I was like, "Oh, can he sign?" And they were like, "No, like he's done. Like he'll be back in like an hour." And so I was just like, okay. And he was sitting there and he was like, "How many books?" And I was like, "Oh, it's 5 books." And he was like, yeah, I'll sign them. So
that's cool.
So that was already cool. And then I gave him the books. And when I went to New York Comic Con, it was on Friday, Cosmic Ghost Rider issue number 4 had just came out on Wednesday. It's the one where like he's holding like baby Thanos like back. And I brought that as one of the 5 books that I wanted him to sign. And he got to it and he was like, "Oh shit." He was like, "I haven't even seen this yet. Like I didn't get my copy yet." He was like, "Do you mind if I take a look at it?" And meanwhile, like, first of all, I wouldn't say no to anyone who asked me that, but like he just went out of his way to like sign my books when they were like, "Nah, like he's done." And I was like, "Yeah, sure, no problem." And he basically sat there and almost read the entire book.
That's awesome.
So I was just standing funny. Like this, and he was just like reading his own comic book, and I was just like which was cool. And then
that's killer.
And then I mean, he was like, I don't know, he I get what you're saying, like that he kind of like he gives off like that look, like he could like be like trouble,
right?
But, he's probably one of the nicest people. Him and Eric Larson were the 2 nicest people that I met at New York Comic Con. Him and Eric Larson.
That's cool.
Down. Like,
I think it's just if you're heavily tattooed and you're like decent looking, you automatically give off like a douchebag vibe. You know what I mean?
That's what people tell me.
Yeah.
fuckboy hair.
I never get told that. So.
Oh, we get called a douche all the time.
What's up, Tank? Tank is in here now.
Yo.
I wanted to get Cates to draw like a little because he does these little like Venom really quick like sketch things, and I really wanted him to do one on. I have a blank Venom variant, and I asked the person who was facilitating it to see if he could do it, and it came back with just a signature, and I was like, well, that was a waste of a blank. Like that's fucking stupid.
Did he straight up say no?
No, they just didn't get it. Like I got it and I was like all excited, like yes, it's gonna be like it's gonna have this cool thing. Like I've never seen a blank variant with Donnie Cates like
the facilitator probably didn't even ask.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. So I'm just gonna get I'm just gonna have him like do it on like a raw like Venom 3 that I have or something. I don't know.
You should take the little Venom skull that he draws and then like scan it into your computer and use it as one of those comic book day tattoos.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Really good idea.
You know, because that will be like really quick and it'll be like dope. So, you know.
Oh yeah. I'm trying to, dude. If this thing works out, my shop owner worked at Valiant for a while, and he knows Donnie's girlfriend. I forget what her name is, but she's in the industry too.
They're
so
married,
I told him,
right? Isn't it his wife?
Oh, I have no idea. Maybe. I'm not sure.
I feel like I read articles and stuff where he like refers to her like as his wife.
Unless I have no idea.
Like married and divorced, and
he might have.
I don't know.
But yeah, I'm hoping it works out to where like if he can do a signing, like we can do tattoos there because I know Donnie's tattooed. So that could be kind of cool. I don't know.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'll come and hang out.
Yeah, down. I want to get this little comic business off the ground. I've been looking at places, so I should be ready to do it in like June. And then
I need a job, so
I know.
I'll help out.
And then everybody can just get their poll from me. And I was thinking about it.
Phrasing.
How are we gonna do the incentive variants? Do we have to like draw straws every time?
Ooh, that's tough.
Like which one of us gets it? We just have to put like names. You have to do a randomizer for who in the club
auction.
gets like a variant.
An auction.
Yeah. Raffle it.
Right.
Gay.
Andrew never wins one.
Fuck him.
You don't say the A word, man. If I have to warn you again, I'll put you in
kick you out of your own club.
Yeah.
Don't say his name.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
Hey, John's asking what your Patreon is.
What's my Patreon?
He'll have one by the time the store gets up and running.
Absolutely. But I was thinking, like, I'm not trying to make money off of most people.
Most people.
You know what? I'll tell you this right now. That's a dangerous thing to advertise.
No. There's a list of people. It's the people that are in the group, and then like 3 or 4 people outside of the group.
Right, but you just said that, and now like 110 people are gonna be like trying to get into the club just to get like a discount. Like,
I think the new rule is YouTube videos get like 16 views, man. Come on.
Yeah, right.
Hey, speaking of that, we had talked a while back about doing an enrollment. Are we still doing that?
I haven't thought about it. We can. So here's the issue: is I think
I don't have room in my life for more friends.
Right.
Like,
there's that.
I like everyone in the club, and I'm like deathly afraid that if we invite more people, I'm gonna wake up one day and hate half the room and have to like permanently disappear. Like
there's going to be like the OG chat, and then there's going to be the whole group chat.
Yeah, like I'll have to make a new chat and only invite like 7 of you to it, and be like, dude, I'm out of the club, but I'll talk.
It's pretty much
to you guys. Like,
It's pretty much what the auction chat is, isn't it? It's like
Yeah, exactly.
that's true. Yeah, good call.
Dude, that's
Except Andrew's in the auction chat, so that
Well,
Yeah,
you can
that's
do
true.
that. I mean, who made it? They can just float
you
them
can't
on
kick
down.
anybody.
you can't kick people out.
Really?
Yeah,
they
it's
have to,
stupid.
they have to
In the chat
leave
then,
on
huh?
their own, or you have to just like get it. That's why we had to make version 2.0 of the chat because Andrew invited like his like
Yeah.
landscaper and his hairstylist. And, we didn't know who let them in the club.
So that's the chat is actually one of the reasons why I haven't thought about it is because there's a certain amount of people that you can have in one room.
Yeah.
I think it's like 15, and I don't know how many members we're at right now. We might be at like 12 or 13.
Well,
It's already
Infinity's dead, so we do eventually need to make a chat
true.
3.0. And
That's true. We'll just leave it open for if he ever comes back.
Dude, I keep making that joke, and then today I was thinking to myself, like, what if he got like he lives in New York City? What if he got like hit by a taxi or something? Or he's like,
Dude, I should just like I know what his name is. I should just like Google his name and see if there's like a
an obituary.
an obituary.
Because I messaged him like a couple weeks ago, but he hasn't been on Instagram at all since like February 2nd or something. And his eBay is empty too. He has nothing on his eBay page either.
Oh, what the fuck?
Yeah, like he just like, I think he literally just like packed a bag and really did move to Hawaii.
Maybe like,
he can't afford a phone bill. He has no internet. Like he doesn't own a phone anymore. He just like he packed like a duffel bag and he just like moved and he didn't tell us.
Dude, what if he's like
it's hard to say goodbye, so he just disappeared.
Irish goodbye. What if he just like, I mean, if the group like sticks around for a long time, what if he just shows up like 3 years from now and he's like, guys,
anyone there?
Yeah.
Well, dude, for like 3 weeks after we made the new chat, your boy kept sending pictures to the old chat. It's getting so confusing.
We had to finally tell him, like, stop using that one.
We should give here, I'll give you boys how do I can't do it from my laptop or from my iPad. Someone give your boys a wrench.
You're gonna make his day.
I know.
You're the only one who can give him a wrench because it's your channel.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. I put him in a timeout anyway, so.
Okay, perfect.
Just because I felt like I figured if you're about to give him a wrench, this is the last time I'm able to put him in a timeout. I might as well capitalize.
Oh.
Yo, real quick, I just want to show you guys this too because I know we were talking about other stuff, but I figured you guys would like this stuff because it is really cool. But this is the artwork in Space Riders. If any of you haven't read it, like it's all like really like bright, like crazy.
Is that the book that that Sasquatch was talking about when he did the show with you guys?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
He's just like, I don't know, man. Just
I
find
really
the
cool.
style really cool, and the art
Yeah.
is like so trippy. Like I don't know.
It kind of looks like one of them old, like
Here's this baboon guy that's like on fire.
Like the
That's
old.
awesome.
It's pretty much like Kirby took acid. That's the way I think about it.
Yeah, that sounds pretty accurate, actually.
I'm down with it.
So, good stuff.
I gotta check that out. It's not, the prices are still like low, right?
It's not an expensive book, man. And there's 2 volumes of the trade, so if you're
okay.
cool too. So they're like $12 a piece for the trade ones. But
Okay.
dude, if you want to buy it single issue, they all sell for like cover price or less.
Somebody in the
Not
chat's
like
asking if you have a link to it.
Yeah, I'll send you guys some stuff.
So I'm looking right now on eBay, and the number one is kind of pricey.
Oh well, then I guess forget what I said. Then I don't know.
It's like $60.
Hey, there's a second printing of the first issue.
60.
There's a couple different covers. Is that the regular one, or are you looking at like a variant?
It's the one with the blue skull on the cover of it.
That's the first printing.
That's crazy.
That seems awfully high. I guess don't listen to me then. I don't know.
He's talking about this stuff. Like this thing.
Let's see. I'm presenting it to you. Yeah, that.
Oh, that's actually second printing.
Oh. I have a few of them. The art's awesome.
I like all of those. Those are cool.
Yeah. This one's dope as fuck.
Hell yeah.
And this is a number one, but it's like a different one. It's like a spin-off or something.
It's like
That's the one. That's the one I have, but I have like the non-colored version, right?
Yeah, you're like
I guess it is number one. Galaxy of Brutality.
Yeah,
That's
it's
what
the
all
same one
these,
I have.
that's what all these say.
Yeah, I've never seen those before.
This one doesn't say Galaxy of Brutality, and it's number one, so I don't know.
I gotta grab all those. I love that. That art looks sick. So
Yeah, who is it? Do you guys know the artist name?
Alexis Zarit.
Nice. Okay. Right on.
Yeah, I like that. It's almost like an old pulp style.
Zarit.
The way it's done.
Yeah, here's the one that trades.
Yeah.
that's cool,
I think
man.
that's the one that like.
That's him signature little skull he did.
Oh hell yeah!
Isn't the sticker price on that like $12, $13, Raptor?
This was the LCSD variant, so it was like $25.
All right.
But I think normally you're right. Yeah, the normal trade's like $13.
Yeah, dude, like on eBay, like Space Riders Volume 1, this is like it's like $12.99 and like free shipping.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the
Volume
first
1
print.
trade. So I mean, that's true. I'm not lying when I say that because I'm looking at the price and it's $12. It's $12.19 with free shipping.
19 cents.
Yeah, that's like a weird number, right? $12.19.
Gonna break the bank.
I had $12.
Not me, man. If it was 12 even, I might buy it. But
Craig says it kind of looks like a tattoo artist did that. I agree, it does. It looks very.
It reminds me of like a tomahawk. If any of you guys are familiar.
Yeah.
With that. So it's like, and he's a tattoo artist, Ian Biederman, who's the artist on a tomahawk, who's friends with obviously Donnie Cates. He's a tattoo artist, so I guess that makes sense because it to me stylistically feels very very similar.
That guy's awesome. I heard that they're trying to make another Tomahawk, like part 2 of it.
That would be awesome. I really enjoyed that book. It's just because it's cool and it's like quirky. And I guess that explains why I like the art because it's so. Necro had to go break out a tomahawk.
Well, I have it, but I never opened it just because I have so much other shit.
Maybe the front page is signed. You should look before you sell it.
Dude, there's the art is crazy as hell. It's super cool. But there's also I didn't notice, but in the middle of the book there are tattoos that he's done.
Where are we at? What are we looking at?
There we go.
Yeah,
so it's got like little flash stuff. Yeah. Pretty cool.
Yeah, the comic actually appeared in Heavy Metal, the magazine.
Yeah.
There's like 3 or 4 the issues, and they combine them all into that book.
I like it, man. The back is crazy.
But do you have this copy of a tomahawk?
I don't. I need to get that one.
Ooh.
There's actually a foil variant too. I geeked out and had to get. It was like $15.
I saw that one. I wanted to get that too. It's like the everything is red. Like the red is foil, huh?
Yeah. And they had one signed by Kate for like $25.
Damn. So was Heavy Metal the true first? John asks. Probably.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like 270 something.
Parker, I got the mail from you yesterday.
Everybody went to go find their tomahawks.
No, I'm back.
I don't own one.
So here's
I
the heavy
did.
metal
I
cover.
have a tomahawk, but it's not a tomahawk.
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah, so that's one of the covers.
Here's the regular one, and then this is the red.
That's me.
foil.
I have that one.
So
That left one.
Oh, you both got both.
they just foil up like the title, and then like the back of the axe is like a shiny red foil. Other than that, it's like exactly the same.
Yeah.
What's the price difference on those two?
I don't even know. I paid like $7 for the regular one, and I think I paid like $10 for the foil one. But that was before like Donny Cates was like
The man.
super popular, and everybody started trying to track down like everything he's ever written.
Yeah.
True.
That's my. You know what? That's like. Well, no, never mind.
Good point. There's a book that Donny Cates wrote, like heavy metals, like or something like that, or Dark Horse Presents, like his first published writing, and that like topped out at $40. I saw.
Yeah,
It's
it's like,
not good.
I think it's like number 24 or something. Dark
Yeah.
Horse.
For his first ever writing. That's crazy. Published.
I mean, if he keeps doing good work, then I'm sure someday that book will be worth a little bit more. I'm excited about the Silver Surfer thing that he's doing. The artist, I'm not super stoked on, but it could be cool because it's wacky. Yeah. I don't know. We'll see.
Wait.
There's like I mean, not to beat a dead horse, but there's like 1 million incentive covers for that book too. They just
I
announced
bet.
it, like the other day. There's like a regular cover. There's a 1 for $25 by Gerald Perel. There's like a 1 for $50 that's like the Gerald Perel Virgin cover. There's a 1 for $100 by somebody else, and then there's like a 1 for $200 like Mike Zeck cover.
Mike Zeck cover, that should be cool.
It should be cool, but I honestly don't think like any store other than like, you know, like Midtown Comics is ordering 200 copies of Silver Surfer. And,
As far as that cover.
I think 99% of people that say they like Silver Surfer as a character have no idea what they're talking about because he's just like a boring jerk off.
He's a big loner too. He's like a crybaby kind of.
Yeah, he's like, you know what? The only thing that I liked. I shouldn't say only thing, but that was to me the most redeeming factor in Cosmic Ghost Rider Destroys the Marvel Universe is that it's the only time anyone has acknowledged that like Silver Surfer is like a whiny like crybaby.
I wonder.
I got it sitting over here, and I still haven't read it yet.
Oh, you have to read it because he's like Silver Surfer's crying that like Galactus won't be his friend. Like it is like, but it's true. Like, so if you like Silver Surfer, either you're like have no taste or you're like Andrew, and it's purely like sexual fetish.
Wait, what was that name?
Norton Rad.
The A word.
Look at this bald silver man on a surfboard.
Issues said the A word.
I'm allowed to say the A word because
Got it.
the rules. Rules don't apply to me.
My shop had. It was something from the creator of Usagi Yojimbo or whatever. Am I pronouncing that correctly?
Yeah, you're pronouncing it right. Stan Sakai.
Yeah, he like did like a little sketch on something, and I saw it. And I asked them about it because I was gonna grab it and send it to you, and they were like, "Yeah, that already sold out." And I was like, "I told him to go fuck himself for you." But
Thanks, buddy. I appreciate it.
I'm just kidding. I didn't do that, but I was bummed. I got it. Actually, let me show you the print I did get for you.
You know what's cool? You know what's cool is Stan Sakai like lives like I don't know if he lives in Hawaii or if he lives in California, but he's definitely out there. And he normally doesn't travel to very many East Coast shows. And I'm not sure why, but this year specifically, he's going to like 3 different East Coast shows, including Baltimore Comic Con. So like,
Really?
I've never been to Baltimore before, but I think that I'm gonna go this year strictly because I can get him to like sign and sketch on some stuff before, I never see him again.
Isn't Baltimore like one of the most dangerous cities in the world, or in the
Yeah.
U.S. rather?
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
sounds like a good place to go.
It's probably on par with like Chicago though. So I mean,
That's where you are, Raptor?
Yeah, maybe 20 minutes north of the city.
he's in a nice part of Maryland.
Yeah.
He has curtains, so it must be nice.
That's good.
He's in like the part of Maryland where like the Baltimore Ravens have their like domed practice facility, and like he's not like in the bad part. I went to school out there, so like I know exactly where he lives. It's like it's only 20 minutes away from a complete shithole city. That's true. But he's still in the part that has like grass and like
Right.
civilized human beings.
All right, check this out. This is the print I got for issues. I was hoping they would have. I don't know who this artist is. I have to find out for my shop again. But it's the same guy that did my Spider-Man one. I was hoping they had a what's it called? Fucking Star-Lord one, but they didn't have it. So this is the best. I'll show it from far away. There's like a little mountain scene at the top, and then there's a cool like.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, right. But it's
That's
a weird.
sick.
It's a weird size, and I don't want to roll it up in a tube.
He's like walking through like the snow.
Yeah, exactly. And there's like a little there you go, like little trees in the background. Yeah,
Dude, that's awesome, man.
it's sick.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's awesome.
So I got to figure out a way to send it though, because I don't want to roll it up. I'll figure it out.
Is it watercolor? Is that what it is?
No, it's just a print. So I mean, you can,
Oh.
yeah, but it's still
Is
pretty
it
dope.
glossy? Like if it's not glossy, it should be fine to roll it up.
Really?
If
I would
it's
think so.
glossy and you roll it, it'll like crack.
Yeah.
Oh no, it won't. It won't crack. It's bendable.
Then you could roll it.
Yeah, like that poster I sent you. I mean, that thing was almost made of plastic, and I was able to roll it up nice and tight and get it in there.
That's true. Yeah.
It
All
did
right, cool.
flatten back out, right?
Yeah, because like this size like poster tube, this is like what Newligan sends like all his prints in.
Yeah.
They're
okay.
long, and they're long like that too. They're like 8
Okay.
by 17, and he just like rolls them all tight and like shoves them in a plastic bag in like a tube this size, and that's how he mails everything. And none of them are ever damaged. They're always fine.
Dope. Yeah, I'll just do that then.
Just
Barbarian.
stick it in a Pringles can so it'll smell good.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. The one you sent me is, I think it's easily flattenable. It's not. I just have to like lay it down and put it in the thing. But it's super dope.
It didn't get crushed, so it's not creased or anything.
No,
That's what I
no,
was worried about, was that it might be crushed.
No, it's all
If
good.
you put it in a frame, it'll flatten itself out.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I found a frame for it, so I just have to buy it.
It's a weird size too. Instead of being 14 or 11 by 17, it's like 18 by 20 something. Like it's a weird size. It wouldn't fit in the top loaders because I was going to stick it in a top loader and just stick it inside of like 2 pieces of cardboard and mail it like a great big flat thing. But
right. Yeah, I love it, man. It's great. It's going to go on my my comic wall.
yeah, he had a bunch of posters up there, and that was like, it's funny because the ones that I like are almost always the cheapest ones, and it was like that was one of the cheap ones. And I was like, that's the best one. Why is it so cheap? We had all these different, Venom Lethal Protector prints, all these different colors, and we had like ones that were actually cool looking. I was like, man, that one's got all the dudes on it. It's got all the symbiotes.
I think
there's a spot right there behind you, like right in between the aliens and the bookshelf.
I think it's gonna go. Let me see if I can do this without messing shit up. It's gonna go right next to the art, right here.
Oh, I got you.
Right there. That'll be cool.
What originals are those?
From Venom issue 2.
Oh wow.
Yeah, they're pretty cool. It's the scene where he like sticks his face in the forge, so he doesn't turn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love it. It's great.
That's awesome.
I want to get more, but man, those original pages are so expensive.
Oh, I bet. That was one of the things when I first got back into collecting stuff a year or so ago. I said I wanted to get more original art pieces and stuff. And when I started seeing how much they were selling for, it's like, well, I'm going to get some unknown artists to do some stuff first.
Right. I found a bunch of cool female artists on Twitter that do, like, I don't necessarily care about anime too much. I don't really know a ton about it, but I like some of the art and the way they draw women sometimes is I think it's super cool. And they do some really cool like character sketches. And I have a couple random blank variants, so I was hoping I could just send them to these ladies to get them to draw some cool stuff. So we'll see.
You get some zombie high school stuff.
Yeah, there you go. No, I have like a what's one of the blanks I have? I had a Guardians of the Galaxy blank, I think, from the new Kate's run. And I just want to do something like silly and dumb with it. I don't know. So I had a question about the whole Wraith thing that happened.
I could make you like a dick butt Groot.
Oh, hell yeah. I like that idea. That's a good idea. We also got to figure out what we're trading, because if you still want the Thor, I'm down to trade.
I have something I want to trade you for it, but it's not here yet. So just don't give that away.
Oh, shit.
I promise you're gonna like it, and I promise that you're getting the better end of this trade. So it's half a trade, and it's half like an A-OK.
Okay, got you.
So when it comes, you'll be like, "Oh, okay, I get it."
I'm down.
I can't believe you still got that Spider-Man 2099 book on your wall.
I don't want to sell that one.
The white one?
Yeah, I don't want to sell that one.
You want to sell it?
What's that?
You said you don't want to sell it? Is that what you said?
No. There's some books that like people ask me about that I was like, I can't sell those until
okay.
I'm getting there. My dog's actually back at the vet and he's having surgery tomorrow.
Oh, for real?
Because he he started going like downhill yesterday, like out of nowhere. So he's back at the vet and he's gonna need surgery, and it's gonna be like another $4,000 on top of the $4,000 that it already is costing. So I'm definitely gonna be hitting like round 2 of me trying to sell some books. So yeah. I don't know. I don't think that 2099 is gonna end up in that pile yet, because it is like a rare book of a character I actually enjoy. What's that?
That I bought the toy because it came in one of the Toy Biz toys or something like that.
Yeah,
and I could swear that I had that toy. Yeah, and I went up into my attic where I got all my toys all boxed up, and I dug through there, and I don't have it. That's like one of the few Spider-Man ones that I had of that series that I didn't get.
That's crazy. And now people are asking for like retarded amounts of money for that book online. Yeah. But the thing is, most of them are like that's not a pristine book either. It's got like, because it came with a toy. So they got damaged in shipping. They got damaged in like the toy stores. Kids opened them up and played with the toys and treated the comic book like crap, And they didn't really put any. I mean, you know what the funniest thing is they put no effort into it, because they were like, "Oh, it's for a kid's toy. We don't want to waste money putting foil on it, so just reprint the same cover and just don't add any color." And that's why the border's white, because they're cheap.
Yeah, they just took the foil off of it.
People are asking like $100 for that thing on eBay, but you can get it with the figure for like $60.
I know. I've been looking for one with the figure, so I could just buy that cheaper.
Yeah, that's how I did. I bought 3 of them now with the figure. I sold one a while back, but I'm gonna keep the other 2 because I opened one.
I put this in one of my empty spaces, though. This is one of the books I had Donnie Cates sign in.
That's sick.
I like that one a lot.
It's the back when I used to purchase from them. This was the Unknown Comics, like Virgin, like 4th print, I think, to issue number 13. So, and I had Donnie and Jeff Shaw sign it at Comic-Con. So that's a
sick.
cool one. Yeah, you want to hear something funny? Unknown Comics blocked me on Instagram. Did I tell you guys that?
Yes, I love that.
Which is so funny because I've never trolled them on Instagram. Like I've never commented to their page. I've never wrote under their pictures like bad things about them. I've never I just done it on YouTube. So I guess we made it because
someone heard it.
People watch us enough that Unknown Comics got butthurt and blocked me on IG.
Well, we do have 11 people in the chat, and I think only maybe a half of them are club members.
True.
Well, one of the non-club members that's watching right now might be working for the enemy. It's like Red Dawn, and we're fighting against the.
What's the big book this week?
I told you that Caleb, the comic Smurf, had sent me some comics. I was commenting about that new Spider-Man, the life stories, and he got the Scotty Young variant. I couldn't find it anywhere, so he just sent it to me.
That's the one with he's Spider-Man has the walker.
Yeah, it's awesome. I looked at every 3 different stores trying to find it, and I couldn't find it anywhere. And that's one of those things where it's you had to buy so many of this other title to get this for them to even be able to order it. So
I might have a Scotty Young book. I'll look. Another signed one. I'll look right now. Raptor, the big book this week is Detective 1000, I think. But I don't give a shit about it.
All the million variants.
I don't think I'm buying any of that at the store because I pre-ordered two covers already, of specialty covers. I don't think I have any desire to spend another $10 on another copy of that book.
Which ones did you get?
I got the two Sienkiewicz covers that he did.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And I got that Harley one from Golden Apple.
Same. Did you get the Virgin or the trade dress?
The 2-pack.
Oh, okay. I just did the trade dress. I got that one, and then I think I'm going to buy one cover A just to have it because I like cover A's. And then I think one of my shops got me the Bernie Wrightson cover just because I like that one, but that's all I'm going to get.
If those Harley ones are still selling for $150 on eBay when mine come in the mail, they're definitely going up for sale because I don't have the desire to have them that bad, and I could obviously use the money right now. So
right.
If anyone's watching and you're interested in those covers, hit me up because as soon as the mail comes, they're going to be available for sale.
Yeah, isn't that the Amazing Spider-Man, that first part to the Craven Hunt, isn't that supposed to come out this week too?
That came out. Didn't that already come out?
I thought it came out this week.
I'm not sure, to be honest.
The Hunted ones?
Yeah.
Yes.
No, the Hunted one started already. I think it was issue 16 has a Hunted. Because it's 16 and then 16 HU, 17 and then 17.
Okay, yeah. I mean, not 7, because 17's already out to be 18 that's supposed to come out, right?
Yeah, and then there's an HU version of each of those.
Oh, okay.
It's confusing. I don't know why they did it like that.
It's to get more money, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I mean, all the other Craven stories, all the Hunter stories have always been pretty good. Like the one back in the day, and then the one, about 10 years ago, they did one with his daughter. And it was a pretty good story, too.
The original one was the best one, but, I mean, that was
sure. That's for sure.
He didn't stay dead after he killed himself, so.
Yeah, boys, I don't think that Detective 1000 is going to go up at all because there's going to be so many copies. So you'll have time to save up $10 to get one.
It's other than if you really want some sort of weird exclusive that are just not going to be available. It's like Action Comics, right? Like Action Comics had 10 covers plus 1 million store exclusives, and none of those regular covers sell for anything still. You could get them for less than cover price, and it hasn't even.
Yeah, unless it's the Alex Ross ones. Those are already going for a bunch.
Yeah,
right. There's always always a couple exclusive.
But out of the regular 10 or so that are going to be at every shop, those are worthless.
Yeah.
They're not going to be worth the $10 you're going to pay.
You know what book I'm interested in this week is Doctor Strange.
Yeah, that one looks cool. The covers look cool.
Is that the Galactus helmet
Galactus.
Yeah, supposedly it looks like he's going to be like a herald, which I'm super down with.
Hell yeah.
So I'm probably going to get a copy of that. And then I think the next issue as well has Galactus and him on the cover, if I remember right.
Do you think Black Panther's worth getting for anything?
No. I think that symbiote thing is done. I think that was like a minor plot point in the first arc, and then they might go back to it, but I'm not sure.
Word.
I stopped buying it, to be honest.
This is the only book I care about this week.
I can't see it because of the glare.
The glare?
Or the light. It's too bright.
Number 1.
Is that Fantastic Four?
Oh, I see the Fantastic Four, yeah.
The Tankevich cover for FF.
Now, are those incentive covers or are those just the regular covers?
Because I was looking covers. They're 1 for 50s.
Okay, I was looking at one of the covers.
He did 4. So issue number 6 is the thing he did.
Yeah.
That was a 1 for 50, and then issue 7 was Mr. Fantastic.
That's cool.
Then issue 8 is this week. That's Sue, and then issue 9, which I think is the best one. If you look at that one, that one's only a 1 for 25. I don't know why they were all 1 for 50s, and then all of a sudden the fourth one's 1 for 25. But the Human Torch one is like the best one.
Yeah, I agree.
It's sick.
Yeah, those look good.
So, I mean, I don't know if I'm going to be able to buy it. I think I'm going to have to wait and just hope that it doesn't get like stupid expensive, and just buy it in a couple months, maybe off eBay. Because I definitely can't walk into the store this week and then pay $50 for a comic book. Daredevil 3 is out this week, though. I'm looking forward to that.
Yes, Daredevil 3.
Dude, I really like the first 2 issues a lot.
It's been cool, man. Heroes in Crisis 7 is out this week, too, which is great.
I'm getting Spawn just because I'm an idiot and I'm starting right now.
Issue 2 of that Darth Vader miniseries is this week, too.
Yeah.
I don't know if any of you guys read that, but I thought it was really
it was really good.
I liked it a lot. Yeah, the cover was my favorite part. But the interior art in general was dope.
Yeah, so I mean, those are like the 4 books that I'm looking forward to this week.
War of the Realms starts next week.
Yep.
Do you still have it locked on me there, big guy?
Yeah, just for fun, you know. I totally spaced. I had it locked on myself for like 5 minutes, and I was like, "Why the fuck is it not switching?"
I want to, if I could shamelessly plug something for a minute.
Yes.
So on April 3rd, it's a Wednesday in 2 weeks. Is it 2 weeks from now?
Yeah.
Is that 2 weeks?
Yep.
So on Wednesday, April 3rd at I think 8:30 Pacific time, which is 11:30 our time, in the place of New Comic Book Day Book Club, which won't be on that week because White Whale's going to be out of town. John and I instead on John's channel are going to do a show together that I think tentatively we're calling Bosom Buddies.
Okay.
And it's about Savage Dragon.
Okay.
So I guess we discovered somewhat recently that we're like 2 of the 10 people in the United States that still read Savage Dragon.
Yeah.
And that we enjoy that book. So we decided that it would be cool to do. What's that?
They still have a run going of Savage Dragon, or are you talking about back issues?
Well, you know what? I don't think John still reads it currently. But I think the basis, at least for episode 1, is to kind of just talk about like the character and the backstory and some of the issues specifically that we like. But it's funny you say that because actually Savage Dragon has a distinction, and I'm going to repeat this on the show because it's one of those fun facts, but Savage Dragon has the distinction of being the longest running comic book series that hasn't changed its artist or writer, because they are up to issue 246, and Eric Larson has written and drawn every single issue of that book.
No kidding.
That's crazy.
He's literally made a living drawing Savage Dragon.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. And I mean, obviously, all the books now are kind of low. You know what the thing is, and I don't want to feed too much into the spec train, but now there's a lot of Spawn books that are selling ridiculously high simply because they're low print run, because for a really huge portion of time, even hardcore Spawn fans just stopped reading Spawn. Like, it got kind of boring and it got old and nobody was reading it. And so stores were just kind of ordering a couple copies of each book just for like the few hardcore people that were still on it. And now you see that there's like random Spawn books that are selling for like $100 and up that have nothing important about them at all. They're just hard to find. And so,
that's one of the things that I traded to Hulk for that ASM 101 was some Spawn books, like 170s, somewhere around in there. Like, he said he can't ever find them. One of the ones I found, he was like, man, that's a really hard book to find. And I would have never known. I found it in like one of the bins for $2.
Right. But see, that's like to collectors at least. So, I mean, for me, Savage Dragon's kind of like that. And if you don't get the books when they come out, they can be like really hard to find the newer issues anywhere. And they still do some like variant covers and stuff for some of the books. And those are like next to impossible to find because like no store orders them. So, I mean, it's a cool book. And as far as like, that's pretty legit to be running 246 issues of a comic book, and you're the only, like, you're the writer and the artist for like every single one.
Absolutely.
So, he'll hit 250 soon, which will obviously be a milestone issue. And then just like Spawn's coming up on 300, if Dragon makes it to 300, that would be huge. And I, you know what the funny thing too is that Raptor, you were saying earlier that there's so many like homage covers that like are floating around right now specifically. But one of the coolest things for me about Savage Dragon is that an exorbitant number of covers for that book are all like homages to like classic covers from other comic books.
Yeah.
That's kind of Larson's whole like shtick with Savage Dragon is like kind of parodying like other superhero books, and his covers directly kind of like mirror that in how much they take off of like other books in existence. And then for people that don't even care about Savage Dragon, there's some weird books in there that like are for some reason worth like stupid money, because he has all those books. Like they went to like 5th print in a copy of Savage Dragon where like Savage Dragon is on the cover with like Obama endorsing him for like president.
I remember that. Yeah.
They went up to like 5 prints on that book. And then there's like there's a really cool book. I have to dig for it because I'm going to show it on the show. But they had like an April Fool's version of Savage Dragon where the cover was done by Jock, and it's like really badass. And it says on the front like, you know, like brand new start, new direction, new creative team. And it says at the bottom that it's like going to be Jock and like Scott Snyder on the book. But it was like an April Fool's joke. But it's like a really badass, like dope cover.
That's funny.
But some of those can be like hard to find and like stupid expensive. So, but yeah, it's a cool story. So I mean, if anyone is not busy that day, 8:30 Pacific, 11:30 Eastern, April 3rd, it's a Wednesday, you could come to John's Comics with Kids channel and listen to us talk about Savage Dragon. And I made a really cool slideshow that I'm gonna put on my TV.
Oh yeah. That's a good idea.
It's all Savage Dragon, like all the Savage Dragon covers. I put a little slideshow together and it'll play behind me while we talk about Savage Dragon.
You made
also, I was wrong. It's next Wednesday. So it's already coming up quick. The 3rd. I thought it was 2 Wednesdays, or I guess it is 2 Wednesdays from now. But no,
well,
you know what I mean.
It's fast approaching.
It's next Wednesday.
Yeah.
Fast approaching. It's 8 days away. So
right.
Come join us and hang out. I don't count this week because they're doing Sabrina on the book club. So like you know,
dude, it's not even. It's not even like a. If it was like a Chilling Adventures thing, I'd be super down. But I'm still gonna tune in when I can. But yeah, I'm definitely not reading that book.
So what? It's funny.
Sorry, John.
Whale just came into the chat just as I said that book club is dead to me now because they picked Sabrina. So dead to me. Dead to me. He asked if I could change the. He asked if I could change the slideshow to just the porn cover. I don't know if you guys, I don't know if you guys knew that either. Savage Dragon issue 225 came in like a bag with like a white poly bag that said like XXX, and it was like $11.99, and it was like a it was like basically if you open it, it's like a orgy scene. And what's extra funny about that is that a couple people have posted stories before that like CGC refuses to slab that book.
I'm looking at it right now. It's it's pretty crazy.
They refuse, and I don't get that because I think CGC slabs some pretty insane stuff, but they have refused people to slab it. Like they have sent people back the book and not charge them for like the grading fees and just like. No explanation, no like call us, just like this order has been canceled. But I think crazy. one person specifically I remember posted it online because they got it witnessed at a convention of Larson signing it with a CGC witness, filled out the paperwork at the convention, sent it into CGC, and then got the signed book sent back to them with just the whole order like canceled.
Dude, that's fucked because then they lose the. Then they have a signed book that's not.
Well, they can't get it slabbed anyway, signed or not. So like CGC.
That's true.
It. So
that's
true.
Mean,
I don't know if CBCS would, but
I have to imagine they would.
Apparently, CGC has some sort of morality rules that they won't.
That's funny. John has one apparently. Is it like a collectible book? Like are they like kind of pricey?
I think they sell like in the $20 to $30 range, and they were $12 when they came out. So I don't think that's like ridiculously expensive.
No.
None of the. There's only a couple dragon books that sell for like reasonably pricey. Not too many. For some reason, Issue 100 has a second print that sells for like $30 to $50. That's like one of the more expensive books.
Okay.
Other than that, I can't even think of too many that are like too much money to buy. So.
Also, I just want to make note that Parker ghosted us. So.
Well, we weren't giving him enough time. I was talking too much, and he was like busy running laps. So like.
John, I have to imagine they would slab Zombie Tramp, and someone brought up, TX brought up that they slab Penthouse and Playboy magazines, which is fair. So it's stupid that they wouldn't slab this book. I don't know.
But Playboy and Penthouse magazines don't have like sexual intercourse on the cover. That's why I'm curious. Like Zombie Tramp, Gorilla, like even if they either have no nudity or they have like tempered nudity of just like one person, but like the 225 cover is a legitimate multiple person sex act. Maybe that's the differentiation between like what they will and won't slab. Like you can have a naked vagina, but you can't have a naked vagina with like a penis going into it. This video is being recorded and like deleted as we speak, by the way. We've entered into the point of no return here. Thank God you're not sponsored because you would not get money on this video. They would flag it for sure.
Hey man, any press is good press.
That's
for you.
I'd also like to plug my tattoo shop right now. So if you're interested in getting a tattoo of that cover, you're more than welcome to come by and get it.
I would like to solicit any Jeep mechanics if there's any Jeep mechanics.
John just wrote, "I'm watching with my kids." That's cool, right?
So I have a funny story, or a very brief story. But the other day when we were in the auction, I think Kung Fu, you had the Jenna Jameson books, right? So you were showing those, and in the chat, John just put "my family!" exclamation point. So the first thing that I thought was, "Oh shit, his kids are right there," like, and they're seeing this this cover, and I like, I was like, "What the fuck? Like, this is a mistake." And then I realized his last name is Jameson, so I got the joke. But yeah, I was nervous for John's children for a second.
There's no nudity on them either. It's just scantily
No, I know.
Jameson.
I just know if I was a kid and my mom saw, or like I saw something like that, my mom would smack me.
Now the inside's a different story. You know?
Right.
She is the shadow hunter.
True. The shadow hunter. That's funny. I'm kind of glad that the next couple weeks are slow because my wallet is hurting right now. But I think next week I only have like 3 books, which I'll take.
I didn't even look at what's coming out next week. I mean, this week, like I said, I think maybe only 3 or 4 books total, which is even that's a push right now. So I think I'll take it.
Yeah. I mean, next week it's Immortal Hulk. That's the big one, and then it's just Avengers and War of the Realms. But
I mean, I pre-ordered that too, so I don't have to I already spent that money, so. Dude, I'm on this point now where I'm not even sure. I know we wanted to do sort of like a book review, but I'm kind of feeling like I'm not even that excited for like War of the Realms.
I've cooled on it for sure.
I kind of feel like maybe I'm okay with like reading the books I already read that tie in, like Thor and Venom and Avengers,
right.
And then the actual War of the Realm books. I might just like hold off, and if people say it was a good read, then I'll buy like the trade in a couple months.
That's definitely the cheaper way to go. Like I made the mistake when the first Civil War came out, and I bought everything to it, and it was so expensive.
Yeah.
By the time it was all over, it was. I mean, I still got it all in a box too. Like it's not something I could ever sell because I'd never get anywhere close to what I paid for it.
True.
Yeah, true too. That's why, like, I think only maybe like a couple dope covers. Like, I really want to get that Zafino cover for Punisher. I'll probably buy the whole Punisher part of War of the Realms because it's only 3 issues.
Same.
But I can't there's 7 different titles that are each 3 issues, and then like a 12-part main line, and then like side books and one shots. I think on Comic Core Unlimited, I think one of the guys said that they added it up, and it's like 80 books or something total for like the whole.
No, I can't do that. That's so much. And I know we talked about splitting it up, but
that would be hard.
I mean, we can't. You know what the problem with splitting it up is that we all read some of the same books. Like we're all already reading Venom. We're all like most of us are reading Venom or Thor or like Spider-Man. Like who wants to read I don't want to read like the 5-issue miniseries that has all the characters from like Champions in it.
Right.
Yeah,
no one we'd have to draw straws, and like loser would have to buy that miniseries, and you'd just be like bitter about it, and you'd be like, I'm leaving the club. I hate you guys.
Man, I gotta read Heroes for Hire. That's fucked up.
Yeah, I'll have to read the Journey into Mystery one. Great, thanks. Like little kids chasing after scrolls. Thanks.
There's some kind of cool ones though. Like I'm trying to find them right now because I don't remember the names of them, but it was like. Dude, there's so many fucking covers for this book. It was like Spider-Man and the something. It was like a random team a new team just for this event. It seemed really cool. The Punisher one seems cool. There's another random team there's another random team book that's not the Spidey one that seems interesting. So some of them seem cool. I might just flip through them and see if there's anything cool that goes on in it, but the cover, I like the covers a lot. But I think I'm just going to
the ones that seem cool. I just feel like I don't know if I can justify spending $4 to $5
Yeah, I can't.
You know, like, oh look, like Captain Britain with like a beard, that's badass. But then like, but I don't want to buy it.
Yeah, right.
I don't know why that like I looked through all the covers and that was like the one cover that I thought was the coolest. I'm like, oh, Captain Britain's like a hipster now with a beard. I'll take it. He's like,
Symbiote Spider-Man. Someone mentioned Symbiote Spider-Man. No offense, I don't give a shit about that book.
dang.
Dude, I just don't. I don't know. I mean, I'll buy the first issue. I'm sure because I'm a sucker. But just how are you gonna name a book Symbiote Spider-Man? Like, there's got to be a better title.
It's only I think a 5-issue miniseries, right?
I don't know. If that's the case, then I might just pick it up.
But doesn't it tie into? It is definitely a miniseries. It's not an ongoing. I know that. But doesn't it tie into all the other like web of books? Like,
I didn't hear that. If that's the case, then I have to buy it. But I didn't hear about that.
We'll have to do some research and get back to people on that.
That would be interesting.
Although that I know you've totally given up on store exclusives, but
yes.
that Venom cover of Venom eating like symbiotes, like
I saw that one. That was pretty clever, dude.
Dude, for that's like it's like a $12 cover. Like,
I know.
It's actually pretty hilarious if you know.
So like I like the Carnage. I like that Carnage one, but I'm not going to buy it because it's a store exclusive. But that Symbiotes one, I thought about it just because it's so funny.
I saw a cover on something, and it was a Venom, and he just had like Spider-Man's hand in his mouth, like coming out of his mouth, like he had ate everything else. I can't remember.
Oh, interesting.
I seen it. Somebody had posted it on Instagram, I think, but it looked pretty cool. I wish I could remember what it was for, but I can't.
But I can't.
What was the store exclusive with the Venom eating them?
Who is it? I don't. I want to say that I saw the cover through like Big Time Collectibles. I don't know if it's their cover, but for some reason I want to say it has to be either Big Time Collectibles or like Unknown Comics, because I don't think I get emails from anyone else besides them and Golden Apple, and it's definitely not Golden Apple. So
yeah, wait, let's clarify. Are you talking about the one that Kung Fu was just talking about, or the Symbiote cereal one?
I was talking about the cereal one. I didn't hear what Fu was talking about.
Yeah, I don't know what one was that I was talking about. It's just something I saw. I saw somebody had posted it on Instagram, and it was like this crazy, tweaked out looking Venom with his teeth all crazy open, and all you see is Spider-Man's hand in his mouth, like he swallowed the rest of it. And it was just a white cover with that on it, but I can't remember what it was for.
Is it like was it an upcoming book, or it was like an older book?
Yeah, it was some kind of variant to something coming up. At least I think it was.
I'm trying to find.
I'm very misinformed.
I try to usually stay on top of the variants, but lately I've kind of been like slacking just because I don't know.
There's a lot, man.
I feel like when I can't afford anything and I start looking, it's sort of like masochistic.
I feel you there. Like it really sucks when you have money that you want to spend on a certain thing, but then all these other things pop up that you're like, ooh, I could get that.
Yeah.
I got a little bit of money.
And all you're doing is hurting yourself.
I know. I sold all that stuff on that auction so I'd have money for this convention this weekend, and I just keep buying crap on eBay.
That's usually how it goes.
I know, because it's PayPal money, so it's not like I'm really spending anything.
If I just deleted my eBay app from my phone, I probably would be okay. Like,
John just said that he's mostly given up on variants. Just cover A and B, mostly never exclusive variants. Yeah, I never buy store exclusives. I'm super over them. But some of the incentive variants are kind of cool. Generally speaking, I'm a cover A guy, but with Absolute Carnage, I'm already trying to keep an eye out for whatever variants they release for it. I haven't found any yet, obviously, because it's a little bit of ways away. But
are you getting that Delato for?
I didn't pre-order it, and I think it's like kind of pricey now, isn't it?
It's like, yeah.
Yeah, then I'm probably not gonna get it.
Yeah, it's like really pricey. Yeah.
You got one though, right?
Yeah.
Hell yeah, that's sick.
I pre-ordered it before. I pre-ordered it A when I had money, and B when there's and this is just for me. Normally for me, because I like incentive variants. When you look in advance in previews magazines or through some of the like websites, before the art is out, if they already have it listed, you can usually get a pretty good price because they know that you're rolling the dice.
Right.
But you know who the artist is, so I kind of feel like in my head, if you're offering me a good price on something that's like a Delato cover, it's
right.
like a Kevich cover, like these well-known guys that always do sick stuff. I feel like that's like, I don't know. I feel like that's it's
a safe bet.
So it's an easy like name me the last Delato cover that wasn't really really good.
Yeah, that's fair.
But like stores were offering that book for like $40 to $50 2 weeks before the art came out, and then like the day the art came out, the cheapest you could find it for was like 80 or 90, and it's only climbed since then. So the art, just the art being released, like doubled what people were asking for the book.
Right.
And I like it. I think the cover's dope, but I paid $40 for it. I wouldn't pay $90 for it. I think that's
right.
Insane. I think Slabbed Heroes has like a 9.8 on his site for like $200 or something.
That's not a bad deal for something that's going for that much, but
you're right. It's not a bad deal, but like I got one at 40. If it comes to me and it's not ripped up, I could press it and slab it for another $30 and have the same thing for 70. And you can't even get a raw copy for 70 right now.
Yeah, that's true. Speaking of pressing, I sent my Daredevil 16 to Andrew to press and clean, and he did it, and then he sent it back to me last week, and I still haven't gotten it. And I might have gotten it in a weird spot because generally I get my mail delivered to my work, but it might have gotten delivered to my apartment, in which case it would be in the office. But they were closed today, so I hope they have it. Otherwise, I lost a Daredevil 16.
Did Andrew give you tracking information?
No.
Because he probably shipped it like media mail, like no tracking, like no.
Shoot,
like that's
you get it with media mail. You get that.
I sent him some extra money for first class though. That punk.
He kept it and he sent it in the cheapest way possible.
I'm gonna spit.
He spent all that time pressing it, and he put it in a manila envelope with no protection, and put like 2 stamps on it, and mailed it back.
I'm gonna spit on the Venom 3 I'm sending him on Wednesday.
Why are you sending him a Venom 3?
Because he bought the Venom set from me in the auction.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Don't send it to him. just flake on the whole. Just flake on the whole thing.
Yeah, I already mailed his stuff out, so I can't do that.
Should we just give John a wrench right now?
Yeah, you can give John a wrench.
Is there a limit to the number of people that can have blue wrenches?
I don't know. Why don't I just give it to everybody?
That's what I was gonna say. I mean, this is just like we'll just have a free for all. I mean, come to the symbiote, shoot the shit thing, and you get a blue wrench. I guarantee.
I think that's a terrible idea.
Dude, what if we? Can I like rescind wrenches? Because if Andrew ever gets in here, I should just give everyone a wrench and then just put him in timeout the whole time.
Yeah, you can take wrenches away from people.
Oh yeah, definitely, you can take wrenches away.
It's not a forever thing. You can lose your power.
Delphia definitely gets a wrench. I don't know why I haven't done that already. Why aren't they in here? They should be in here. There we go. If everyone has a wrench, no one has a wrench. That's true.
Yeah, basically, because you can't time out another wrench, so it's sort of counterproductive. Like,
Every time a new
delete
person
anyone's
pops
comments,
in,
you can't like
put 'em
put
in
anyone in
timeout.
timeout. Like
Oh man! So I think we should just plan on doing this. I don't even mind doing it weekly. I mean, we can just fuck around.
I mean, as long as I don't have
Whatever.
work, you know. Someone, there you go.
Anybody commissions to do?
Who got it? Who got it?
Do you know what? Do you know what your schedule is going to be when you start at the other spot?
No, I don't even know yet. I mean, it wouldn't be like night. It's not a nighttime job, so.
Okay. That's cool.
Yeah, I wouldn't be worried about that. It's like a normal people daytime job, so.
That's good.
Which I haven't had one of those in like 13 years. Like
it sucks. Raptor, what do you do for work?
I work in the mortgage industry.
Oh, okay.
So the 9-to-5ers.
Makes sense.
That'll be me soon, 9 to 5 in it.
Yeah, some good working 9-to-5. You know, you have weekends available and stuff like that.
True. I mean, I feel like between 5 and 7 is not a bad time to get off of work.
Absolutely.
Other than like rush hour traffic, of course.
Yeah, that's true.
That's the benefit of living 2 miles away from where you work at.
You only live 2 miles away from work?
Yeah, I could walk to work if I wanted to.
I was about to ask you that. I was about to say, why do you drive your car to work?
Yeah, it's not a straight shot. I mean, I could walk through the woods straight to my work if I wanted to, but I would have to like go like a mile this way and then 2 miles that way and then a mile back, and so I just drive.
You should just get a moped.
I drive all the way to Dunkin' Donuts every morning to go get my morning coffee and all that.
That would be the funniest thing in the world, to go down to Georgia and see Fu riding like a Vespa to work.
I got an electric dirt bike.
Yeah. No, but a dirt bike is badass, though. If you were on like a Vespa with like a little helmet, that would be like.
I'd be on it.
When it snows, you can put chains on the tires. You get a little Vespa with chains on the tires.
Yeah, it doesn't snow ever. Today it hailed for a second though when it was raining, but no, I got a 4-wheeler and I always joke about how I'm just gonna cut a path through the woods straight to my work. It'd take me like a minute and a half to get there.
You should do that.
I should, and I work for the city, so it's not like I'm gonna get in trouble. If we're riding on the streets and stuff, they ain't gonna care.
That would be awesome.
Did someone put John in timeout?
No.
Oh, okay. I'm picturing Barbarian on a Vespa in the snow with like 4 layers on, with like his beard, like, because the wind, it's like his beard is like blowing behind him, and he's got like goggles on.
If I could get a Vespa, I'd definitely sport one with like 30 mirrors, like 15 on each side, like 6 headlights. It'd be great, man.
It's a good idea. John said this chat knows entirely too much about daytime strippers.
Yeah, so I see what's going on in
there. I think we hurt Mr. Garrell's feelings because he thinks he's on the B team now because he doesn't know anything about the auction chat.
I saw that.
He didn't like your auction joke. He took it personally.
Yeah.
We haven't even talked in that group since the day of the auction.
I know.
I don't even know if I still have that one on my phone.
I turned the notification off because everybody kept writing, so I don't know.
I don't have any like IG notifications turned on.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I didn't. And then when I went to that convention where I was supposed to hang out with Big Will, like he was saying how he had kept sending me messages, and I didn't get any of them until I just happened to. It was when I went to pick up that comic for you. That's when I looked at my phone and saw he had wrote me a whole bunch of times. I was like, shit. It's
And
like,
he was like,
how
oh,
am I
geez.
supposed to know? And I had no idea.
Which, by the way, I didn't show any pictures yet because I've been so busy. But this is the dope book that Fu was able to pick up for me when he went to that show. It's my lowest numbered Fantastic Four in my collection, number 9.
That's crazy.
And it was pretty. I mean, it's like the whole cover, like all the edges and stuff are all like browned out like tape. But the book itself is like complete and intact, which is for me with these older books because they're affordable is all I care about.
Right.
So it's a completely intact book. Like
Yeah, it was a good price too.
yeah,
That's
like
awesome.
really good price. Like I mean, you don't see prices like that. So it was
That's
awesome.
crazy.
So
White Whale's asking if you're going to Baltimore issues.
yeah, we were talking about that earlier, and I was saying that I'm hoping to definitely make it this year to Baltimore, mostly just because I want to get. I have a slab Usagi Yojimbo number 1 that's like I think it's like a 9.2 or a 9.4, but it's the first print of that one, and I've had it for a little while. I actually got it from Comic Talks before.
Oh hell yeah!
Like before I was like legit like following him, he had posted something else about Usagi. Like I didn't know about his auctions or anything, and we worked out like a deal and a trade because I didn't have like enough money to pay him what he wanted for the book. But so I'm probably gonna crack that and take it down to Baltimore and get it signed.
Alec wants to know if you want to split a room with him.
I mean, is it gonna cost me more than money or?
Is it going to cost your innocence?
That could be dangerous.
Dude, I was thinking about if we do C2E2 next year, like splitting rooms between like 12 or 13 of us, like that could be a nightmare. And Andrew's going to be there. We could all get touched inappropriately while we're sleeping.
we have to draw straws for C2E2, and smallest straw has to room by themselves with Andrew in a room with one queen size bed.
Absolutely.
Hell no. We'll be putting Motel 6s there so we can all afford it.
I was just going to say, I would like tell you guys that I'll room with you, and then I'll find a hotel like on the opposite side of the city. Oh, sorry guys, I'm at this hotel. My bad.
I'm curious. Yeah, I wonder if that one, like all the pictures seem really cool. I wonder what I know we were talking about in the chat how a lot of cons now are like more like cosplay and toys and shit over the actual like comic book side of it. So I wonder how that one is compared to like San Diego Comic-Con or something.
So White Whale, Alec had said before that he's been to Baltimore before. He went there once as an artist and he had a table, and he just said the overall vibe back then when he went was very much more like comic books as opposed to all the like extra stuff.
Okay.
I feel like you can't get away from it, and I think that cosplay is probably the stuff I mind the least.
Same.
I think it's when you mix all the other stuff. Like last year, New York Comic Con was my first actual, real, big, like legit con that I've ever been to, and they pack so much into that. I can see why people say like it's too much. Because it's everything there. It's like video games, and then movies, and then TV stuff, and then like Funko Pop stuff, and then like statues, and then like clothes, and it's just too much going on in one place.
Yeah, narrow aisles. When you go to a con, if they have narrow aisles, that's the worst. That's how Dragon Con every year they pack as many vendors into those buildings as they can, to where there's literally like 3 people standing shoulder to shoulder can barely fit down the aisle. And then you got dudes that have like freaking wings and horns and tails, and they're carrying huge swords, and it's so hard. I can't stand that place.
The cosplay stuff doesn't bother me at all, honestly. I know it's just like that just gets lumped in there as the like non-comic stuff. But like all the like I don't know, LA Comic Con, it seemed like there was like maybe 5 or 6 comic vendors, and then the rest were toys or I don't know, like random memorabilia, like art stuff that I don't really care about too much.
Yep, like clocks and all kinds of.
Yeah, like I just want vendors with like 30 long boxes of like dollar books or $2 books. Like that's all I want to do.
That was a problem at New York Comic Con for me too. Is that a lot of the dealers that had like long boxes and even short boxes of stuff, their areas were so small that like you couldn't get around people to get into other boxes.
Yeah.
Like if someone was digging in a box and you wanted the box next to them, like you literally couldn't get past them. So it was almost like just a line, and you had to like wait your turn to dig through each box, even if like you didn't want anything in that letter. You were just stuck there waiting for like an opportunity to like crawl underneath someone to get to a box, which for me is like, I have ADD already. I don't like dollar bin dig well because I get really frustrated really fast. So if you add in like too many people, I just like I'm on like this like cusp of just going postal and like murdering everyone.
Oh yeah, for sure. You get agitated real fast when you're in there and you're trying to look through something, and then 2 people will come to both sides of you and just like squish you into one box that you're already halfway done looking at, and now it's like I'm going that way, buddy. You got to move.
Yeah,
it's like,
and when I'm in a situation like that, I start off like very passive aggressive, and I start like kind of like moving my elbows out and like, touching people with my body. And if you don't understand that means like back up, then like it's like can get very dangerous very fast.
You just start mosh pit in the
to keep people away from you when you're digging through boxes like that. And it's going to sound really gross, but just don't wear deodorant that day. And by the time you get to the end of the box, you're over here, just start blowing. People will just back away from you.
I was thinking more like buying like James Bond shoes that have like a knife and a toe tip and just
like, hell yeah,
people in the leg when they get too close.
23 on them.
Yeah. It's like, sorry.
John said he's going to be dollar bin diving too. Hell yeah. I'm looking for some random stuff that's like not super expensive, so I'm hoping I can find some.
Yeah, cons are good for that, man. They're good for like if you have runs that you're trying to fill, they're good for finding that stuff. And then if like the one that I went to where they had all them X-Men books in the $2 bin, and they were like key books, but I already had a lot of them, so it's like I buy them for $2 and sell them for $5 or something, give somebody else a good deal on it and still make money. Where I can actually buy the stuff I need. Like you find stuff.
I also don't have like enough self-control for those kind of cons. That's part of the problem too. Like if I go and I say, oh, I have like $300 that I can spend at this show. If I see like an expensive wall book that I've wanted for a long time, I could end up spending $200 of my budget on one book, and then I'm like done.
Right.
Then I'm like, I have no money left. Like, what am I supposed to do?
Yeah. I get that.
Yeah.
Negotiate.
Yeah, true.
That's kind of what I did at that last one too. It was like after I spent my money getting stuff signed, and then I went around looking at the wall books because I wanted to get something big. I wanted to come home with something, something big, and I found something good. And I only had maybe like $60 left, and it was like, okay, I'm gonna hit them bins now. And shoot, 90% of what I got was with that $60.
That's dope.
I'm just gonna like grab a really expensive wall book and run.
Japan fork.
Oh man, I'm hitting a wall. I don't know how you guys on the East Coast stay up so late all the time.
Because we're adults.
Yeah, that's true. You guys don't have to deal with people getting upset over burritos all day.
I'm the guy who gets upset over burritos. Do you know what makes me like really agitated is that if I'm paying you extra for like guacamole and then
Right.
like someone gives me the most child-sized spoonful of guacamole in the history of the world, like is like the most infuriating thing that can happen to me,
dude. I do that to people, and then they give me a look like they want to kill me, and then I give them a look like try me, and then and then they're like, yeah, okay, I'll pay extra for an additional scoop.
Yeah, you will.
I'm like at the point with this thing where I just like I'm so tired of it. Some guy tried to give me attitude on the phone, and he was like, "Well, you just lost a customer," and I was like, "That's a bummer, man," and like hung up the phone.
It's a bummer, man.
Tell your whole family so I lose y'all.
Yeah.
I can imagine that like your customer service when you're annoyed is probably like something that I would find like incredibly entertaining. Like,
it's pretty bad.
Because I know how you can be to us when you're like hangry, and then I imagine like complete strangers pissing you off, and I just think that has to be like the funniest thing in the world to watch that like exchange.
I get really like sassy, I think is the right word, like because people just try and be like bitchy to me, and then I'll just be like, all right, well, I can be bitchy too, and then just like go crazy on them. It's fun. I'm surprised I haven't gotten fired yet. It's great.
But you also secretly want to get fired, so it's kind of like that weird dynamic where you're like, I'll keep doing this until they fire me, but like,
right, exactly.
Don't care when that happens.
Exactly. Dennis is lucky he gets to hide in the kitchen all day.
So y'all work together?
Yeah, we've worked together for like 5 or 6 years now.
Oh, okay, right on.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure. I know you had said something before about him working there, and I guess it didn't dawn on me what you were talking about.
And Den said he's gonna quit as soon as like Necro leaves. So
yeah, so with like because I'm like I obviously if people don't piss me off, then like my customer service is really good. But if people are rude to my employees, then I have no issue like standing up for them because no one should be treated that way, especially in the food industry. So a lot of my people are pretty loyal. So a bunch of them have said that like if I leave, like it seems like if I leave, like half the restaurant's gonna quit. So
that sounds like you have a lot of give me a raise leverage.
True. It's very true.
You're like, you'll quit. The restaurant will have like an I am Spartacus moment, and everybody will like.
True.
Like corporate, like an angry customer will come in and be like, "Who's David?" And everyone will start standing up, like, "I am David. I am David.
I am David.
I am David."
We are David.
Like a Dead Poet Society, and then I just walk out crying.
Well, yeah. Don't like kill yourself or anything.
No, I won't.
All right, I've hit my wall. I'm going to bed.
I feel you. I think I'm just gonna call it too.
Let's stay up way later.
All right. Well, we'll plan on doing next Monday too.
Well, it's only 11:48 here. This is like the normal time I would start a show.
That's true.
I'm just hitting a groove here, man.
That's true. All right, guys. Thanks everyone for watching. If you watched, see y'all later.
See you.
Bye.